Neil's like, you could have any job in media. I'm rooting for these kids, unless they're trying to take mine.
That's exactly it.
But I was like, well, you kind of got a little flex on him now, though. Like, listen, I gave you a head start, and you still can't take my spot. That's how confident you are.
It's true.
Here's some money. Try to get ahead of me, son.
Speaking of some money, we got a super chat from Dante151.
Shout
He says, if you want fun at the movies, then go watch 28 Years Later and Jurassic World Rebirth. They are great watches right now. And can we trade for Stephen Kwan?
All right.
I loved
Random.
28 Years Later. I mean, if you're into that genre.
I haven't seen it yet.
What is
I've
it?
seen the other two. You remember the movie 28 Days Later? It's a zombie movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably like 22
It was-
years ago.
It was like British, and then they made an American version of it.
I thought you were talking about like 26 dresses.
Nah.
Seen
So
that.
It was 28 days, then it was 28 weeks was the sequel, now it's 28 years.
Oh.
It's the zombie genre, but I think it's got its own unique take.
It does, yeah, it's different.
I enjoyed it. Stephen Kwan, dude.
Every time.
Like, honest to God. Don't tell me you weren't having, like, flashbacks to last year.
Every freaking time with that guy.
KG, I remember telling you, it must have been mid-April. I remember telling you, like, I'm not going to be that guy this year, and it's the best decision I made. Do you remember
I remember.
I'm not going to pick shit apart.
Yeah.
Stuff apart. I'm not. I'm not going to pick stuff apart. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this, and I'm enjoying it. And that's what happened yesterday. I'm enjoying it. No doubt about it. Are you enjoying the Tiger season?
Oh, my God.
Are you not entertained?
What the best part to me is now there's just no lag period in sports, right? Like, Lions play in what day? What's today, the 6th?
Yeah, end of the month.
So the Lions play in 25 days.
Yep.
Today's the 7th. Yeah, 24 days.
24 days.
24 days.
So
Yep.
we got 3 weeks out to the Lions, and the Tigers are on fire. And Paws was here today in the chip contest. And honestly, Paws is on fire, too, with, like, the signs he's holding up in the background. This dude's going viral, hitting on Livy Dunn.
Yeah,
like,
best mascot.
Everything is clicking right now, and that's when you know it's good. Like, I remember in 2004 when the Pistons were awesome, they introduced Mini Hooper, and that set the tone for the rest of the championship season, and I think Paws is providing that.
Well, it was great. You know, in moments like yesterday, you need your best to be their best. And you saw Stephen Kwan do Stephen Kwan things, and we saw Trey Sweeney do Trey Sweeney things.
Out of nowhere.
That's what you expect in
Yes.
games of that magnitude. You expect things like that.
But even, like, just the fortitude, to steal that run in the 9th inning, to force it into extra innings. Like just the secondary lead that my coach used to always talk about. And God, who is that guy that's online? It's like, hey, Spadini, you're talking about leadoffs. You gotta go. And like the explosive movements. And that's what it was, that secondary lead. He got off the base, and then he took home, and then
if you were watching it live, I did you have the same reaction I did? When you saw the ball kind of trickle behind him, I was like, he don't got a chance.
No.
And then you
He was
saw that
already
blur.
home.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, that didn't take long for me to be wrong. Usually there's that build up to you to be wrong, but
it's fun. It's like
a
Little League
great watch,
baseball,
man.
and I don't mean that in like a
bad way.
negative way. Like it's just they're playing for like the purity of the game again. And I know that just sounds like I'm waxing poetic, but that's the stuff I love about sports is just how much these guys love the game, how much fun they're having, because that's what I fantasized about when I was a little kid dreaming of playing at that level.
Right.
Then you realize, these motherfuckers, it's a business to them. Like,
they're cashing checks.
Yeah, they ain't out here for the love of the game. But when you see guys like this stealing home, putting your competitor on a 10-game losing streak, the Scooble just pumping his chest, having
Shout out
fun
J.K. Simmons.
every time he's on the mound, like it's fun. And that's what makes it winning even cooler. It's not just a bunch of robots going out there. Yeah. It's a bunch of dudes that you want to hang out with.
Did you see the J.K. Simmons stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, with the Tiger shirt.
Yes.
Underneath.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so damn. One of the things, too, and I know people are complaining about it, and even the Tigers are complaining a little bit about it, is none of the reserves were Tigers. Listen, if you're ticked off, great. You know what? Can I be honest with you? I'm glad. I want those guys to be pissed off the second half of the season.
That's fair.
I do. I want them to be pissed. What the hell do I care about the All-Star game?
But do the A's really need a second representative?
No.
We
lived that life not that long ago, too.
We did.
We lived that life not that. Honestly, I'm still into the All-Star game. I think this is, I know
You
old
are?
bit.
So you're the one.
No, this is better than the other three by a mile. There's no comparison.
I mean,
there's
okay.
no comparison. This is the close facsimile of the game.
Yeah.
Okay? The game is the
Smartest
same.
dumb guy.
Right? Yeah. It's the other ones, that's not even the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but I couldn't care less if those guys don't go. I hope they all keep a chip on their shoulder and are pissed off about it. Go win the division by 20 damn games.
Whatever you need.
Right.
Whatever you need
At
to
this
motivate
point.
you.
I'm
me a
happy to
little
have
fuel.
4 in. I'm just speaking for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, just bow in and bow down to everybody, but I'm cool with 4. Compared to last year, like, what are we talking about? It's night and day.
I think they deserved one more at the very least. When you look at what Baltimore got last year in a similar situation where they didn't have all these guys that were, 9 million OPS and stuff like that, but they're the number 1 team in the American League, so I think you deserved another guy, whether it be Torkelson or McKinstry or one of the pitchers. I think they deserved another spot. I don't think the A's should get 2 guys.
If you had to pick one, who do you think got the biggest shaft?
Probably Torkelson. I think you look at his numbers when it comes to first baseman in the American League, and he's top 3 in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a dull where he had a couple weeks where he didn't hit the ball well, but now in the past 2 weeks he's over a 900 OPS again. He's hitting home runs again. So I think Torkelson deserved it the most.
I said on the morning show it's probably because of his batting average. If his average wasn't so low, he probably would be an all-star. But when you look at the relievers, I mean, it's tough. Like, we listed some of the guys that got named. They're all 1 ERA guys. I mean, no offense to Will Vest. He's been great. No offense to Tommy Kahnle. He's been everything we could have hoped for in a signing. But you just got beat out by better people. So I'm not necessarily mad at that. I make a case for Zach McKinstry over everybody because he has the numbers to really back him up.
We're just getting greedy, though.
I love
for sure.
That's why I'm cool.
That's
That's why I'm
like,
cool.
Oh my God,
100%.
what was that list that came out of like the top players under 25 in the NFL, and like the Lions had 4 of the top 10, and we're like, what the hell? There's 3 more guys that should have been on this list. Yeah,
I think
it's
we're
okay.
You know what? And much like the Lions, I think we're getting to that point where, like, I'm past all that stuff, and the prize is what happens in October. Just like we talk about with the Lions. Like this season, I'm telling you guys, I'm serious.
Is it World Series or bust?
Yes.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
at that level
Yes.
today.
Yes.
They're at that
I
level.
think so.
Yes.
Yep.
There
I
is
really
a- there
do.
is a-
Stick, I feel you because I don't know if I'm all the way there yet. To me, it's ALCS or bust.
I think
like, you got to be one step better than you were last year.
I think it's World Series or bust because I even look at the Yankees. I'm like, I'm not scared of these guys in a 7-game series. I don't think there's a team in the American League you could say that would have the Tigers' number in a 7-game series.
That's not
even
the
Tribe,
question.
Sean.
That's not the question. The question is Super Bowl or
You know
like,
who I brought up a couple weeks ago? The Astros.
Yeah.
And they've been red hot, and they're just not going away. I'm terrified of
But
them.
like when the Lions lost in the NFC Championship, that year was not Super Bowl or bust.
No.
It just felt like a good momentum year that, oh my God, this could happen.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Super
Yeah.
Bowl or bust pressure on them. To do it to the Tigers, to me, they're kind of in that same range where I don't think it's World Series or bust. Like, I think this season has been a success for the Tigers.
Oh, absolutely.
I disagree. I think you look at this is a team that was a win away from the ALCS last year. That was your gimme. That was your, feel-good story. They shouldn't be here. You've been the best team in the American League all year.
All year.
You are the best team in the American League. You should be expecting to at least go to the World Series.
But where I
Can
push
you
back
drop it
is
in the chat?
Yeah, but where I push back is like, we all said that the model last year was not sustainable at all. And it does appear that they're going to have, better tools at their disposal this year. But this is far from a complete roster, and that's where I kind of get hung up because you can clearly see there's still holes in this roster. There's still ways that they can improve. And I think over the years they will. You got your young guys finally in AA now. A lot of people looking forward to that. In the coming years, the Tigers are going to be a force, but I just don't know if for this year in particular, if they're World Series or bust. But I'm right there, though. ALCS, I think they can make it there, and I think they can win. So I guess essentially that is say a World Series or bust, but that's just my point.
You know what's funny? I don't even remember the context. This came up when we were doing the Lions show yesterday, but I go back to 2006 because what you just said reminded me of that. I wasn't mad in 2006 when they lost the Cardinals. I wasn't mad at all.
How could you be?
I really wasn't. I was not mad. That was just the beginning. Surely we're going to get back, right?
Well, it wasn't.
Sure. So the funny thing is, when I look back on 2006, I don't look back as fondly as I did. I wasn't mad in 2006, but when that era ended and we didn't have the series, that was when I got pissed off. And that's what I worry about, KG, is what you just said. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Look at this. Look at this core, man. Everything's going to be okay. Somewhere in the next 5 years, we're going to win something. And you look at that era from 06 to 14, the fact that we don't have Dick to show for it is infuriating.
That's why
infuriating.
We have one World Series win.
Yeah, one game. Yes, we did.
We won
one
one
game.
game.
One game.
That's why I'm even more on the World Series or bust this year, because you look at this. How often are you going to expect Zach McKinstry to be an all-star utility guy?
That's true.
How often are you going to expect Javi Baez to be the all-star starter and center fielder? We don't know what's happening with Tarek Skubal. Riley Green still doesn't have a contract. He's fine. We got him for a couple more years, but still, like, you don't know what's going on with this core right now, so I feel like this is your best shot you're going to have in a little while.
Cody Engel in the super chat right now.
Casey Mize is on the last year of his deal.
Yeah,
anything but the ALCS is a failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I feel.
I'll agree that.
That's how I feel, yeah.
I just think if the Tigers win the ALCS, go to a World Series this year, I'm not expecting
I'm
going to be mad that they missed an opportunity, but I'm not going to say that, oh, my God, that's the end of the season. It was a waste of a season.
Do the expectations change, though, when it's legitimate they could go wire to wire as the best team in the American League?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
I worry
the
about
expectations change?
the National League. Let's say if they run into the Dodgers for 7 games.
How
does that look in a playoff scenario? Regular season, cool, but how does that look in a postseason scenario?
Right.
I don't know.
How many regular season champions have gone on to win the World Series lately?
Not that many.
It's so
not that many.
That's the tough part about baseball. If you can get in and you're hot the last 2 months of the season, the last 6 weeks, you think you have to win the American League?
I think you have to. I think if you don't win the American League, it's a failure.
At this point,
that's
absolutely.
That's where I'm at.
So not quite World Series.
Get to the World Series.
Yes, it's just getting to the ELCS. Just getting to the ELCS won't. Golly gee, it was good.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think you have to win. I think you have to win the American League.
I do too. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking Tigers. But first, Stick, tell us about Planet Fitness.
I'll tell you about Planet Fitness. Listen, we're out here. They got a long drive competition, and, some guys are only hitting it about 150. You know what they need to do? Get in the gym. Lift some weights. Get the calisthenics and hit the damn ball on the fairway.
Pansy.
Put about 300 right there. That's what happens when you go to Planet Fitness. Plus, you can get that black card where you got the tanning, you got the massage, you got everything that you need. And there's Planet Fitnesses all over Metro Detroit and the United States. So even if you're out of town, you can go work out. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ven Johnson. Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. They can get you in the car of your dreams. All you got to do is hit them up at lesstanford.com. Talk to my guy Goron. He'll get you in a new whip for the best price imaginable. It's Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. lesstanford.com. You heard?
And welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you, everybody, checking in on the chat. Yes, I am not Neil Rule. Neil is elite. I am slightly underneath that, and I'm glad. Like, listen, there's some people you bow to, and he's the president of the Detroit sports media. You think I can match that? Nah.
We've got a video of Neil hitting a golf ball. Let's see if you're that elite.
Oh, let's see.
I'll be intrigued.
Okay, look at that stroke game. All right.
Hello, friends.
You top that.
Yeah, it looked like you topped that. And here's D-Mac right after him.
Oh, this was their first hole tee off.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they all messed up on this hole. Like, Neil's elite though when it comes
All right.
to short.
Yeah, that
No,
was
short game.
that was a
Short
good
game
chip.
is elite.
Good chip there by Neil.
That's what we're talking about. First bird of the day. Yeah.
Dropped it in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bounce.
Come
on down. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
D-Mac had a couple nice shots when we were out following him around. But yeah, we're out here at Cherry Creek, the Detroit Sports Media golf outing. As you see, the normal hosts, they are out golfing, so they cannot be here right now. So you get me. You get Mr. Sean Belesian. KG is back for your pleasure, along with Spencer Raxter, and a little bird just flew in behind your shoulder, Spenny.
Who's that?
Yeah, just a
Oh,
little
an
bird.
actual bird.
An actual bird.
Yeah.
He thought you was talking about a female.
Yeah.
No, I like birds.
How do you not?
Yeah,
Shout out.
little tism squeaking in there.
My brother's a bird guy. I'm not a bird guy. My
He'll
brother's
get older, and
He's
he'll
a
be
bird
a bird
guy.
guy.
He got the binoculars.
Sean knows.
Oh.
He takes pictures of them. He's got
really?
a nice
He
ass
into
camera.
it.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a rich doctor and he's bored,
Oh,
so he has to
yeah.
five shit to
Gotta
spend
look at
money on.
birds.
What else would a
You
rich
you
doctor
guys
do?
have been over the house, okay? Listen, now you open up a can of worms you don't want to open.
Speaking of birds,
I have this really weird feeder that I attach to my back porch. You guys
Okay.
saw the back
Yeah.
porch,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of woods behind the back porch. I'm sorry, I can have one of those drinks, those happy drinks,
yeah.
and sit there and go, dude, I've never seen that bird.
Bird watch, yeah.
Where did he come from?
What a yellow
Buzzing bird watching.
yellow-winged sparrow? No way. In my backyard.
Do you think he'd land on my hand? Maybe we could take a nap together.
I would
Right?
pay money to see that.
There's people that keep journals of all the birds they see. They mark down all the species.
I'm not
called
there
being a
yet.
nerd.
Yeah, big nerd.
It's called being a nerd.
Like,
Maybe if I poured a
Big
little
fun.
buzzing in there, they could have the kind of day I'm having.
I like your stoner bro voice.
Right. Don't it fit him?
He's so good. Oh yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's catch some gnar, brother.
I think it's time for a nap.
I think. See, okay.
Sound like Stephen Baldwin.
I
How
like
many
certain
birds have you actually seen in your life? Think about it. Like
A lot of
of
them.
birds.
A lot of
You've seen
birds.
A lot of birds.
I like birds of prey. I think birds of prey are cool.
all birds are birds of prey.
Right.
I went to
Falcons.
this thing, and it was in Ann Arbor. My brother lives in Ann Arbor. I went up there to visit, my nephew and hang out. And they've got this park up there that's also like a refuge for birds of prey. So if injured eagles and shit get dropped off to this park, and they're sitting there recovering, and you can walk right up to their enclosure, and it's just like chicken wire and some wood that hold them away. And there's some big ass birds
I'm
in
not
there.
doing that.
That was cool, but sitting there and looking at robins and stuff, nah.
Cardinals don't do it
What's
for
the
you.
age? Like
No.
40? I think once you hit 40,
Yeah.
Spenny, you start to care about birds.
Start caring about birds.
Because my
a lot?
grandpa
Okay.
used to be the same way up at Houghton Lake. Like, he would watch birds all the time, talk to me about the finches, and I never understood. But now I'll sit on my back deck and I'll count the different types of birds I see.
See, I also was traumatized by birds a couple times growing up when I was little. There was, but what? So my job when I was little, we had finches, like little finches. We had like
That was your job?
like 7 or 8 of them.
What do you
one,
mean?
One of my chores when I was a little kid was to change the newspaper, fill up the water, and give them new bird feed. And so one day I wake up and I'm changing the newspaper. And they just start going after it.
Shit.
Aggressively attacking each other. And they're dropping to the bottom of the cage one by one.
bird
Just
death match?
dying. Yeah. And finally, the victorious finch was sitting there with the rest of his boys all dead on the bottom of the cage.
Oh, my
And then
God.
he pecked himself to death out of depression or loneliness or something. And he dropped. And
Jeez,
I'm screaming.
dude.
I'm probably 8, 9
Oh, yeah,
years old. I'm
screwed.
screaming and shit. My dad comes out. He's like, "What the fuck did you do?" I was like, "I didn't do anything." They just started getting after it. So
that's a movie scene.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like birds. I don't trust birds.
Have you ever seen the movie Birds?
Yeah, I've seen the movie Birds.
You
Did not like that one either.
Terrifying.
I got attacked by a peacock at the Detroit Zoo when I was
attacked
little.
by a peacock.
That
By an inmate?
You gotta let me fly.
No, listen,
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me
They're
fly.
locked up.
You gotta let me fly.
For some reason, the zoo just lets these stupid birds walk around, and so they're just walking around. I'm eating ice cream or Dippin' Dots or something. It comes up to me, starts pecking me. My brother punts that bitch, and we just start running, dude. It was, not fun.
You pick up little things though. Like I'm serious. Like one year, all of a sudden there weren't as many like Cardinals and Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So I'm going, what's going on? What's going? So then, like I looked it up, and there was a disease
like
that
'em.
killed a bunch of them off.
That's crazy.
And
I
so,
cared about birds.
and
like
so
this.
now they're all starting to come back, and you're like, oh, good, the Cardinals are back and the Blue Jays are back. It's
Nature's healing.
Yes,
It's an
nature's
aviation
healing.
hour on
when you-
Big D.
it is.
When
You're
you,
right.
when you reintroduce wolves.
I can't believe we're doing this right now. How did we even fall into
Woodward
this?
habitat.
I'll tell you what.
Bird you cannot cage.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The one thing I hate more than birds when it comes to like other beings are mosquitoes. I hate.
I can't stand
I
them.
am.
They're
I,
the worst.
I swear to God, I have 45 mosquito bites on my
They
body.
love
So really,
my black ass,
anything
they
that
do.
flies you don't like.
Yep. Yeah. No. Stay on the ground,
like,
you fucking weirdos.
If you're airborne, just get the hell down here with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Look at the back of my leg, dude. I mean, I was destroyed. We had the grill out. I was destroyed.
Yeah.
Just absolutely destroyed. I'm with you, Spenny. It's weird because it's like, how the hell did we play outside all day? Like, was I like?
You just ignored it as a
Was
kid.
I impervious to mosquito bites?
Yeah.
Now it's like my body just hey, there he is, and
Right.
they just
It's all
they
the
just
meat
send on
you
me.
sweat out
That's
now.
exactly it.
Yeah,
That's
the
gotta
cold
be
You
it,
scratching
right?
that one
Juices.
bite. You scratching that one bite for 14 days.
Right.
It's I have O positive blood, so I got that good shit. So
Shout
mosquitoes
out.
like
Yeah.
me. Dude, I have like a grouping of 12 different mosquito bites just from my calf down to my ankle. I'm one leg. It's
Shout out to
terrible.
old positive boys.
Shout
in the
out,
building,
shout
though.
out.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
A+ over here.
We can help
The only
everybody.
A+
Can't-
I've ever
nobody
got.
can help us.
Dang.
Only A+ I ever got,
Okay.
baby. My blood. Harvey Wallbanger in the chat. Big D has turned into Big Bird energy.
Right. Shout out.
Sorry,
Shout out.
fellas.
I saw some super chats. Let's get to those real quick,
All right.
Spenny. Can you hit those?
Yep. Super chats in there. We got. Oh, dang. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out. All right. Byrne says, listening to Guardians fans talk about their team like they are the 2014 Tigers is glorious.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're
that is
0 for
awesome.
they're 0 in their last 10.
0 for 10.
Yes.
JK, shout out J.K. Simmons, dude. Ryan's reaction says, KG, thank you for your services in the Ukraine. Welcome
dogs.
back.
My
Shout
dog,
out.
appreciate you.
Dante151 says, breaking news, the Red Wings have hired Michael Layton as goaltending coach. Let's freaking go. Let's go Red Wings. So bringing in Michael
Shout out
Layton.
Woodward Wings as well.
And
They
then
got a new goaltender and a new coach.
and a new coach. Good, because that goaltending was atrocious last year.
Yeah.
Burn in the Woodward Sports chat with another super chat. He says, if I was this Tigers team, I would be so tired of these 30, 40-year-old old men talking about 2006 and 2012 all the time.
Yeah.
Go win it all, boys.
Yeah,
I
go win
hear
it
you.
all.
Absolutely.
Or guess what we get
Please.
to do? We
Keep
get to
talking.
go back to the good old days. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Those teams
Nobody wants
earned
to
it.
hear about 84 anymore.
I say
Yeah.
it all the time. I feel sorry for you guys. I do. Because all I heard about was 68. I knew every gosh damn thing about a team that won a World Series when I wasn't born. I was so tired of hearing it. And my son's like that because it's like when we had the season tickets, it seemed like every other weekend, hey, it's another 84 reunion weekend. And he's going, stop it.
Right.
Like
Who
they won the
cares?
World Series 15 years before I was born. Knock it off. And I couldn't agree more. I want this generation, including Stick, who was like all of 3 when
I
the
was
Tigers
3, yeah.
won in 84. You guys need your own 84. You do. You
What-
need your own 84.
At least for me, technically, we had one. We got to the World Series. I was in the building for it. But
Right.
a sweep like that is unforgivable, bro.
Yeah, and
Especially with that team that you had.
And here's the generation gap, though. Like it's you and I didn't have the Tigers. Obviously, none of us have had the Lions.
Right.
But during my young age, like '97, when the Red Wings started to go on there, I was 16. So like I had '89 Pistons. I had '90, so I was like 8. I was 9. Then you have 97, you're 16. Then the Red Wings just win a ton of them, right? And
Yeah.
then you get the '04 Pistons. Like my 15 through 25, 30 was filled with championships of all other sports. These kids, and not to call you guys kids,
but
you guys have literally had nothing. Nothing.
Appearances.
They've had World Series appearances.
I got the 04 Pistons.
Yeah.
I do.
How old
claim
were
them.
you though?
I was 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so 12,
that's a good.
so that's like
that's
I was.
Okay.
I can understand the game at that point.
But like,
sure.
okay, so like, I guess I'm more referring to like Justins of the world and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like the 04 Pistons to them are like the 84 Tigers to me. And
Yeah,
that's
we had the
last
04
thing they
Pistons.
get.
We had the 08 Red Wings too.
Oh yeah.
But,
08. Yep.
That's
For me,
it though.
For me
Yeah.
though, and I hope Dante understands his point. You bring up 06 because you're right. You're everything changes. I used to look back fondly at it. I don't. I look back at that era, and I said all the 2013 was the one team for me. Not the two teams that lost the World Series. 2013, that team was unbelievable. Yeah, Justin Verlander, when he got it back that year down the stretch, it was unbelievable in my mind. Prime Verlander.
Well, and what it did for the city, right?
That
It was the
Red
first
Sox
time this
series.
city cared about baseball in a long time. I mean, we had Bobby Higginson and Juan Gonzalez and Damian
Juan
Easley.
Encarnacion.
Juan Encarnacion.
You're
I mean, like,
jeez.
like
man.
it was so desolate on the baseball level. So to see it get brought back into what Detroit was in '84 and the Bless You Boys and what I heard about, like, oh man, this is an actual baseball.
It
town.
broke my heart when they brought Alan Trammell back. I'm not being funny because it's like, and let me tell you why. He wasn't going to win.
No.
You knew how that was going to end, and then
Yeah.
it's like, no, you don't fire your legend. You don't.
Right.
You don't want to see them get in that situation. Unfortunately,
I want a new rule. No more Detroit sports playing icons can become managers, general managers, owners, or anything
Co-sign.
else in this
I'm
market.
not mad at
Go
it.
sign.
I
I'm
don't,
not-
because I hate
Co-sign.
it. I hate the people who don't like Joe Dumars. I hate the people that are souring on Steve Yzerman now, and I'm one of them, so I hate myself in that aspect. But I
fair.
am, dude.
Self-aware.
At least you're real. Yeah.
Yzerman used to be on this pedestal, and now I can't put him there. Alan Trammell, same thing. I loved Alan Trammell. Hell, even Ausmus when he played here, it was like, man, Ausmus is a porn star when he played here, right? Then he coaches, and you're like, get this guy the hell out of here. It ruins my memory of what these guys were as great players.
and it takes a while to get it back. Like I think for Trammell, it's back. Obviously,
Trammell's
we
back,
remember
for sure.
Alan
Yeah.
Trammell. You know,
People don't really hate on Joe D as much anymore.
What? The dude doesn't even come to the city.
But that's the damage done though at this point.
Right,
But I haven't heard outright hate to Joe Dumars in quite a long time.
I hear
and
it every time I bring him up and defend him.
I think it's starting to come back.
Darko. That's all you hear, Darko.
I think it's starting to come back around on Miguel as well. The last few years of
yeah.
Miguel were just, let's be honest,
It was horrible.
They were awful.
But that's for people who don't understand sports and salary.
Well, that
Right.
contract.
We knew what that
you
was.
paid for what he did, not for
Yep.
what he was. Like, you want a triple crown, you pay $50 million 5-10 years later because he got you a triple crown.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I'll never hate Miguel Cabrera for getting the bag for what he did.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting the bag, if you want to double your money real quick, you could place a hot bet on
Hey.
Caesar Sportsbook.
Yeah,
Hey.
you can. Woodward
El Malik.
1000.
My boy.
Put that code
Free
word
my
in,
boy,
and you
man.
can get your bonus bet if your bet loses. Darren McCarty rolling through right now.
bet?
You know what? If I was on Woodward Sports right now, or Caesar Sportsbook right now, I would take the under Darren McCarty on the back nine.
I would too.
That's what I would do.
Because there's some nice dogs over there, so he's going to get fueled.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to take a break, and Neil's walking by too. We'll be right back.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Stop in, sit down, relax. Get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We are back at the DSMA golf outing here at Cherry Creek. Darren McCarty, Neil Rule are on the course, actually eating the glizzy while we speak.
Refueling for the back nine.
I'm told they heated up.
Yes.
The first 2 holes, they parred.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm told they warmed up.
Can only keep good men down for so long.
That's it. That's true. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil. That is Sean Belesian. Spenny's here. KG's here. And before the break, we were talking about legends who come back to coach and who have just tarnished their legacy.
Alan Trammell broke me. I'm serious. That sucked. I hated it second one. I hated it.
Dan Campbell is getting a lot of mention in the chat. Sauceton said Dan Campbell played for the Lions. Detroit Ariel, is Dan Campbell exempt because he was on the 0-16 team? No, but I think the caveat to this is Detroit's superstar.
Right?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Joe D was a legend.
Joe D was a champ.
Iserman legend.
Most people didn't
Right.
know Dan Campbell existed.
Right.
Let's be
He was
honest.
a tight end. Yeah, just a regular
More
tight end.
people know David Sloan than Dan Campbell
Right.
before he became
Corey
the head coach.
Schlesinger is a bigger name than Dan
Hell
Campbell
yeah,
was.
Corey Schlesinger is the greatest fullback of all time. Goddamn right.
Great dude as well. He really is.
Yeah.
Corey
Schlesinger's a really good dude.
He's a really good
But
dude.
I think role player is fine because they still have a chance to improve on their image.
Yes.
Right? Like Joe D couldn't have gone higher than Finals MVP,
Right.
multiple championship. Iserman couldn't go higher than Cup Finals MVP, multiple championship. So, like, that's got to be it.
It
right?
killed me when Tram was named the manager of that debacle. Okay, where best case scenario, they flipped it in a couple years. Okay, it was awful because you knew how it was going to end. And that was eventually you were going to have to tell a guy, like you said, a World Series MVP, a World Series champion, a guy who legitimately should have won the MVP overall in '87. You had to tell the guy, get the hell out of here. That killed me.
Right.
Now, in the case of Alan Trammell, you say you saw it coming, right? What do you say about a case like Steve Yzerman, in which he did have success with another franchise before he came back home to the Red Wings, and you're thinking, okay, this isn't going to take, like, forever. He's going to be able to get them turned around, and it just hasn't been that to this point.
I think some of us warned people a few years ago.
True.
This was he didn't have Steven Stamkos. He didn't have Victor Hedman. This was going to be longer and harder. With that being said, we're like those big dogs in there. Huge weenies in that clubhouse.
Pause.
Very girthy.
Girthy dogs in the clubhouse.
THICC.
Wow.
See, those guys got big smiles on their face. They're enjoying girth. Yeah.
Big glizzies.
Here's your girth, fellas. But
Need a girthy dog.
you know what it comes down. You know what it comes down to. KG is you know what, the last couple of years, he's fair game.
Yeah.
He's fair game. I remember yelling at Flannel last year, saying, okay, if the mindset is 5 years, give a guy 5 years, then he's on the clock now. Mm-hmm. And if he's on the clock right now, it doesn't look good right now. No. Let's be honest. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that it can't change.
No,
that doesn't mean that we're writing it off. But look, does it affect that aura about Steve Yzerman? I think it does.
Yeah, because after a certain point, these legends, they get a longer tenure just because of who they are. Right. And that's where fans get frustrated when the winning doesn't come.
Right.
Like in Steve Yzerman's case, it's like we know he's not going to get fired. Like he's pretty much set in stone unless something goes horribly wrong in the next 3 to 4 years.
I can't imagine it. I'm with you. Yeah. I can't.
But he's not going anywhere.
He should have stayed gone, though.
Scenario.
He should have stayed gone. And, look at Isaiah Thomas, for example, right? Isaiah Thomas, Detroit sports legend. He goes to New York, kills the Knicks when he was the GM.
Horrible.
Shout out
all sorts of
big shout out to
lawsuits. They didn't win a damn thing. Do we care?
No.
Look at us. We're like, look what he did to the Knicks. But if he did that to the Pistons, we'd be like, Isaiah Thomas, look what he did to the franchise.
Fact.
This guy isn't what. So, legends, listen to me. Stay gone. Like what you did here should be what you did in Detroit. I never want another legend coming back in an authoritative position ever again. I don't like seeing it because I hate getting on the air here and being like, dude, Steve Eisman sucks.
Right. It's a lot of pressure.
Andrew Bordeaux in the Woodward Sports chat with a super chat.
The Timu Adam Baidu.
Yeah, Andrew Bordeaux. He says, shout out to JV Green coaching staff. So I think he's one of the guys who coaches with Ryan, JV Green baseball at Groves.
Shout out, Groves.
Shout out to Groves.
500 baseball club.
Yep.
Yeah, they turned it around.
They pulled it together.
They turned it around.
They started hot, they ended hot, but the middle was
it was horrible.
Yeah, the middle was tough. Hey, just got to get better than you were last year.
That's it. And just be better than the guy you're playing.
Yeah.
You don't have to be good. That's what my old teacher, Mr. Glowacki, said. You don't have to be smart. You just have to be smarter than the guy next to you.
That shit used to piss me off so much during I'd be screaming at halftime like, you think these kids from fucking Lakeshore are that much better? Like, these kids are that much better than you? Like, grab your nuts and go out there and hit somebody, dude. Oh, man.
Art Vandelay with a great poll, too. Spielman is an exception because of what he's doing. But
he wasn't the front man. He was in the shadows.
You don't hear about Spielman.
No,
he was the shadow Hokage.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know what? To Art, I don't think Spielman gets the credit he deserves.
He
I
doesn't.
don't.
He
I don't
doesn't.
think he gets the credit he deserves. It just.
Brow.
But
Sorry.
he's not the
Sorry,
general manager. He's not the coach. I think he was the guy. I don't think. He was the guy that came in here and said, you have an incredibly dysfunctional franchise, and here's how and why. And kind of went like that.
And not to play Debbie Downer, story's not written, right? Like, if we did this 5 years into Dumars, it would be he was the greatest GM, the greatest person ever.
Yeah, no, it's
and
not.
Then,
Hey,
I
listen.
don't want that to happen. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just pointing out that right now it's great.
Job's not finished.
What if the current Detroit Lions turn into the Detroit Tigers that we were talking about?
I'd cry.
Man,
Stop it.
I don't want to see it.
A prolonged period of success, multiple division. We own the Central, and
Kings
just
of the
couldn't get it done.
I would
hurt.
cry. I would cry.
It would be a better decade than the decade I came up with, but still, like you got to get this done, man. And most of the time, things end bad. We all know that, especially in sports. There's no good endings in sports, but they have to take advantage of the window while it's present.
Just one. That's all. I swear to God, I'm not greedy. Just one.
Just one.
That's it.
I'd be happy for the rest of my life.
I'm with you, Spenny. On it. They'll never ruin a Sunday for me again.
Never.
Never. You win one championship, I'll be pissed. I can't just turn it off and say, well, that's that. But that in terms of
Super Bowl.
in terms of
how long could that float you?
I don't
For the
care.
rest of
The
my
rest of my life.
for the rest of my
Maybe
life.
not my kids.
Literally the rest of my life.
Maybe not my kids, but me, I'm good.
For the rest of my days.
I can imagine me, sitting with the grandkid on my lap and be like, oh, well, Sonny, let me tell you about 2027 in that year, the Detroit Lions did it all. Like,
First,
I
let's
want to
start
be
with
that
Matt
guy.
Patricia.
The 84 Tigers, I want to be that guy with the Lions. I want to be telling my grandkid, hey, you don't know shit about winning. You should see this championship we got 20 years ago.
Right.
Like, that's what I want really bad.
It was the snowiest day.
Yeah.
And
The
your
frozen
grandmother and
tundra.
I woke up that morning. Yes, all of it.
You should have
Jared
seen
Goff.
Aiden Hutchinson with the strip sack on Patrick Mahomes. And,
A
that's
75-yard
new quarterbacks.
scramble from Jared Goff.
Right. None of these new quarterbacks are Jared Goff.
One, and you know what? I think Tiger
Had to ruin
fans,
it.
KG, a guy like you, that one World Series, you'll be fine, right?
Yes, absolutely.
One,
Yes.
that's it. Just one.
It crushed my heart to be in the building and watch a sweep.
Just one.
Like, it was crazy.
Just one.
How cool was it that you can say you've been to a World
Oh,
Series?
amazing.
game, though, right?
Absolutely amazing.
Because I did the same thing. I went to the Smudge Gate, though. I was at the Kenny Rogers game.
Smudgegate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was cool.
Shout out
That
Kenny
was the-
Rogers,
that
man. He
was-
was one of my favorite Tigers.
As you
man.
remember that Sunday night,
Crazy
that's
kid.
their only win, and it was absolute miserable weather.
Yeah.
That night we were there too. My son and I were there. It was miserable weather, but we saw a World Series win, man.
Little extra pine tar underneath the cap.
unbelievable.
You know
What
what they're doing. Got
Art-
a nice little grip.
Art Vandelay says, Dad, why is my brother's name Dan Campbell? Let me tell you a story, boy.
If you, we don't know who's going to be MVP if they win Super Bowl and all that. So let's just go in right now. If you could pick one person on there to name your kid after, who would it be? One person on the Lions.
Ooh.
We know if it's a girl, it's Sheila, right?
Yeah,
Hand down.
easily.
If everybody, honestly, if baby Joey was born during a Lions game. Part of the deal was it was going to be Sheila. Her name was going to be Sheila.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might give my son the middle name Sun God.
Sun guy. I bought my car from Amon-Ra.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, man.
Amon-Ra Belizean has a good ring to it.
Amon-Ra
Right?
I kind
Just, yeah.
I kind of want to say Kirby or Brian Branch. For like,
I'm not mad.
Kirby Raxter.
Kirby Raxter. Yeah.
Kirby Raxter.
Penne.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Penne Raxter.
Penny Raxter. I mean,
That dude's a beast.
Yeah, Penne.
You know he's a beast.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan Penne Sewell Raxter. Dude, Penne would be a cool name. I don't think you could have a white kid named Penne.
No, not at all. He's not Samoan in any way,
I
shape, or
gotta
form.
find me some color. to
Tate
have a baby
Raxter.
with. Tate Raxter. Yeah.
Tate, you know, is chugging beers.
Tate would fit. Yeah. Tate would fit for sure.
What about you, KG? Who you taking?
I said my middle name.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Amon-Ra. Yeah.
So Kenneth Amon-Ra
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, why not?
Jameer Raxter.
Jameer Raxter.
Jameson Raxter.
I like Jameson.
Yeah.
I told you for years, I would sit at home. This goes back to the time I was a little kid. The elongated pregame show, I would always try to vision myself having those talking heads on the television talk about the Lions. Can you imagine that? That's like thinking about that. I swear to God, that's just as a turn on as the game itself.
Never look me in the eye and say that again.
There's something.
Especially with that voice.
Look me right in that dead in the eye.
Like I'm telling you right now, it's squirming. And like just thinking about, yeah, move your chair over.
Right.
Oh, notice how
He
I
might
cross
blow.
my legs.
He might blow.
No, listen. The whole idea of the talking heads on television talking about your Lions and what this means to Lion fans, and then watching, this is for you. Now you're going to get it. Jared Goff, as they're having a pregame show, comes trotting onto the stadium wearing his T-shirt, tossing the ball, talking to the chief players on the other side. I don't even want to think about it.
Holding his newborn child.
Right.
That's going to be
The confetti coming down with the
down on
baby.
baby
Oh,
Goff.
my God. Shut up, guys.
Oh, my God.
Shut up.
I told you. I told you guys. That has been.
I'd be more hyped for the Kristen Harper celebration than the Lions. And then,
Her at the parade?
Baby Goff.
Oh, my God.
Streamers coming down on Baby Goff. Dan Campbell in the background crying, handing Amon-Ra St. Brown the MVP trophy.
See, and you know, for years we would all sit back and go, "Oh man, yeah, I have to be there." Hell no, I will be on my knees in front of my television,
weeping.
Yeah.
weeping with two bottles of booze in my hand.
Yes.
And then at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm telling my wife I'm heading to the cemetery, and I go dance on my grandfather's
The
grave.
Irish jig, of
I
course.
told you,
Yeah.
that's it.
Right, playing the music.
The Super Bowl gig, jig. With two bottles in my hand. That's the kind of stuff, man. Just once. That's it. I'm not greedy. Just once.
You know, Sean, if you didn't stretch before your Irish jig and you mess your knee up a little bit, all you got to do is hit up Dr. Pierce. Because attention, sports fans, if you want expert sports injury insights, check out Dr. Jeffrey S. Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine.
Esquire.
Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call, 248-429-9944. It's Dr. Jeff S. Pierce.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
Go to getmadpacks.com now to find out where you can get these great products. They've got the high-low pre-rolls, the Boom Shakalaka infused tarantulas, THCA moon rocks, and just the regular weed if that's what you want. They've got the Mad Packs. The Cherry Runts is awesome. They're going to be in a lot of different dispensaries coming up very soon. So make sure you can go to getmadpacks.com to find them near you.
Low that.
Welcome back. It's Big D Energy. We are at the DMSA golf outing here at Cherry Creek. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule, who's out there chipping birdies. I hope they come back with an albatross. Speaking of birds.
That would be
Speaking
sweet.
of cool
That'd be
birds
nuts.
that we were talking about earlier, an albatross. Sean Belesian in. Spencer Raxter, KG, is here as well. Byrne with the Super Chat, $5.
Shout out, Byrne.
Barry, we were kind of reminiscent of what it would look like if the Lions won a Super Bowl, and here's his kind of dream. Barry and Calvin getting to hold the trophy at the parade.
Oh, man.
The Force ghost of Bobby Lane, Milt Plum, and Night Train looking at the Ewoks dance.
Is Milt Plum dead? I think Milt Plum's still alive. Last time we checked, that was like a year and a half ago.
Somebody fact check that.
You checked that a year and a
You know
half
what?
ago?
You know what's funny? So on
we love Milt Plum
on
here.
the way out here, if you're not familiar, Cherry Creek is like out here in Narnia, Shelby or whatever. So I live in Northville, and there's
still alive.
There's
yeah.
no
90.
easy.
90.
There's no easy way to get here. I swear to God, I drive by the Silverdome, and I still give a tip of the cap every time I go there.
Yeah.
That place was. I'm guessing you two never went, right?
No, I never got a chance to.
Absolute dump. It was my dump.
It was our
Yeah.
dump.
It was our dump.
That's
It
what I
was.
heard.
And it's almost like your brother, right? I can badmouth my brother. You badmouth my brother? All right, let's head behind those trees.
Big
okay?
facts.
And that's the way somebody else wants to bash on the Silverdome. You're from Cleveland, you're from Cincinnati. I will fight you and I'll bite your nose. Okay? But us, it was our dump. And it was an absolute dump.
Players
But-
playing on concrete.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was.
We played our Little League football championships there for the Livonia Junior Football League.
Yeah.
And we would play there. And
Eagles, Orioles?
We played against them. I was
Okay.
for the Walled Lake
Okay.
Braves.
All
Shout
right.
out Walled Lake, undefeated Walled Lake Braves, by the way.
Shout out.
Sorry, Livonia teams.
That's okay.
Sorry,
That's
Livonia
all
teams.
right. It
No,
happens.
but yeah, falling on that turf it literally was like falling
It was
on this
awful.
It was awful.
Jeez.
But yeah, my favorite part about the Silverdome was the capacity, right? 80,000 people.
Yes,
the Lions sucked. So any given Sunday, they'd be blacked out. This is when NFL games were blacked
People
out.
don't get
I
that.
remember them days.
That's crazy.
People
to think
don't
of,
get
too.
it.
Man,
Isn't that
what?
wild
People
to
don't
think
get
I
it.
do
about?
remember that a lot, being like, yep, we can't watch the Lions today. I was like,
Yep.
why
Yeah.
not?
Me and my dad listening to Dan Miller on the radio in the
So
car.
We'd hop in a car. We'd
Yep.
go drive, park anywhere in Pontiac you want, right on a curb, pay $10, get in, and then walk down 20 rows within the 50-yard line. And it was fantastic. The Silverdome was so amazing.
You could
the
smoke.
amount of fights.
You could smoke in the stadium back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Nice.
See,
I swear to God, there was
that's
like
when
the,
America was really
there was
bad.
the biggest there was the biggest storm cloud inside
Those
there.
cigarettes.
All
Just
sitting
kind of
at the
top.
just
Yeah.
looming at the top
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
It looked like a storm cloud, like any second joints and Marlboro Reds were going to come pouring
yeah.
down on you. It was incredible. He said, my guys are back there shaking his head too. That's Tiger Stadium was
Oh,
awful.
I really wish I could have.
It's hot dogs
Yes.
and cigars.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really wish I could
Remember
have
the
seen
walk
Tiger Stadium.
down to the Silverdome? You're walking down the ramp,
Yeah.
and you get to the revolving door, and it just
It blew
sucks
you away.
in.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
blew you.
Dude, it was the craziest thing when you were like 12 years old and still didn't have all your balance. Kids would literally be falling as that thing sucked them in. Because imagine the fans that have to be in there to keep the
yeah.
dome up.
Yeah, true.
There's so much pressure.
An absolute dump, but I revere that place.
It
And,
was a
and
blimp on the ground.
it was a blimp on the
It
ground.
was a dome.
And as a kid, there was nothing cooler than going in there on that day against the Cowboys and watching them punk the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That was the first, and up until a couple of years ago, the only playoff win we ever had.
I think it was they were what were they, like 0-14 one year, and then they finally won the last game of the season, and Johnny Morton did the worm in the end zone all the way across the end zone.
That's hype.
Dude, it was like we won the Super Bowl in that place.
Faintly
and like
remember that.
people with their Sloan head hats on, and then of course, which every man knows, you weren't a man until you went to the trough. At the Silverdome.
You just dealt with it. Yeah.
The trough at the Silverdome was where boys became men. Like, you did not look left. You did not look right. You looked straight ahead because any deviation, you were seeing a lot of things you didn't want to see.
I can imagine.
I'm talking hundreds.
I heard Tiger Stadium was worse.
Yeah, it was. It was the Gentiles' bar mitzvah. It was. I mean, really, it was. Like, that's it. I've come of age.
But again, that's what.
But again,
see, that's why I love.
what we're missing.
That's why I love sports, dude. You're ripping a heater, watching a game up in the upper decks, and then you go hang dong in the bathroom, piss into a trough. Like, dude, that's what we're missing.
Real
today.
man.
You wouldn't have to worry about any gender bathroom issues if you still had the troughs, right?
Yeah.
There's only one way to use it.
I don't know if you sit your ass on that trough, though.
There's only one way to use it. Yeah. Oh, God, the
Shout out
Silverdome
to
was
the troughs.
magical. Yeah, the Silverdome was a magical place, man, and now it's an Amazon center, the delivery center.
Is that really what they turned it into?
It's massive.
Yep.
Wow.
Anytime a big place like that gets closed down,
Amazon.
Bezos.
Yeah, he is on it for sure.
It was that. Yeah, it was. There was no place to tailgate too. That's what people. There was a giant cement parking lot, and then across the street there was a field with gravel. Mm-hmm. And of course, back in my day, we would play tackle football on gravel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just
nothing wrong
Pick
with
them up,
that.
mess them up, man.
Right,
What we
I'm
call it in
convinced
the.
there's
we
still
called them
stones
something
in my arm. But
Can't say on air what we called it.
Yeah, I think I know what you
it was
Smother
awful.
the mother.
Smother the
You're
mother.
right.
Yeah, we'll go with smother the
One
mother.
variation.
Yes, yes.
Silverdome was worse. Art Vandelay. Yeah, the Silverdome wasn't even supposed to have a dome, Burns says. Is that true, Sean?
I don't remember that. That was
supposed to be an open-air stadium?
Yeah, when it opened, I was really little. But
Would you want that? I wouldn't want that.
No, I didn't even want them when they had basketball there.
I'm-
That was the dumbest thing. They put a huge curtain across the floor.
I don't-
Yeah.
And they tried to cut the stadium in half, and it was so massive.
What?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, when Pistons were playing there, yeah.
Well, that was right when Isaiah Thomas got here. It was, 87 they were in the Silverdome?
I seen some of them pictures. It looked crazy.
So dumb. Like,
Yeah.
depth perception shooting on that would have to be so crazy.
What's the game? Like, there were so many fans that came in. They were playing the Celtics, like, at the height of, like, that. It was towards the end of the Celtic era, but there were, like, 75,000 people in there for a basketball game.
There was that
to the
87.
point that they had to move the curtain.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally, they had to move the curtain. And
Spenny, see if you could Google
you
it
could
real
you
quick.
could look
Yeah,
that
the
up.
pictures is crazy.
I want to say there were 75,000 people in this random regular season game against Bird and the Celtics, and that was a place that basketball should not have been played there.
No.
Should not have been
No,
played
but
there.
Bill Davidson, he moved the team out of Detroit, and they were having kind of a holdover before the Palace.
Yeah,
was
before the
built.
Palace.
So
Yeah,
that's-
88, 89. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is exactly historically accurate, but it's what I heard, and sometimes what you hear may be true, that Bill Davidson, when the Pistons were playing downtown, got robbed in the parking lot. That's when he was like, all right, I'm just going to go build my own stadium.
I'm out.
In
Going to the
Auburn Hills.
burbs. Right. Going to the white folks.
Yo, look at this thing.
This is crazy, dude.
This guy.
This is what you got. A little grasshopper.
Yeah,
Stick is one with nature.
He is. Look at you.
this guy.
I never took you to be a nature guy. You're right.
As you say.
That's
Wow,
more
yeah,
like it.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. I tell you, you're right.
What?
Can you imagine the guy that's like, oh, let's just throw a curtain up?
Yeah, who thought that was a good
Half a
idea?
football field on this side. Like,
That's just ridiculous.
we just going to ignore half the football
Yeah.
field.
Well, I mean, hey, you got to get it how you live, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they used to play different back then. But, yeah, then the Palace got built, and the Palace was
There were
awesome
61,983
at a basketball
for a
game.
January 29th, 1988 regular season game against the
That's
Boston Celtics.
nuts.
So what was the first year they moved in the Palace? Was that 89?
88, 89.
So they moved in the Palace and won the championship?
Yep.
Or-
Yep.
Wow.
88, 89. Yep.
It's the odds of that. Open a new stadium and win the championship first year.
Right. What do you want me to do?
Just give him a little flick.
No, he's cool, man. He's bright green.
He's chilling.
Yeah,
He's a little baby grasshopper.
I don't know what the hell it is.
All right, let's go to break while Stick hangs out with his new friend. But first, let me tell you
what is going on
about Loom Cannabis. Loom Cannabis, you can go to loom.com to find any of their locations or to place your order online. Make sure you use promo code WSN30 to get 30% off your order. Make sure you check it out. Loom Cannabis. They've got the buzzin' long drinks that Sean talks about. They're perfect for the summer. Whether you're on the golf course, whether you are at the beach, by a bonfire, wherever you are, they're 7.5 milligrams THC in a can. They are perfect. It's Loom Cannabis. Promo code WSN30 for 30% off.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got 5 different locations for you to choose from. There's always a Feldman Chevrolet close by. Make sure you get in there. They have the largest selection of Chevrolets, Cadillacs, Buicks, and GMCs in the state. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Go to that Feldman pre-owned over there on M59 where I did.
Shout out.
Got a Durango from my man Amon-Ra.
Shout out Amon-Ra.
I was like, there's no way that's his real name.
Yep.
Like, hell yeah. It was meant to be.
Great dads think alike.
Well, like, I went on my Chase app, and I was like, I need a new car. All right. How much can I get approved for? So I always like having my pre-approval before I go buy anything, just so I know my buying power.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I can walk in and not be surprised. And then, like, they prompted me to go to a Feldman near me. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there we go.
Partnership with Chase, and it had the Durango, and I loved my old Durango. Called the guy, and he's like, it's Amon-Ra, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm buying the car.
Right. You got me.
Yeah. They hit me on every single level. They knew what the hell they were doing.
That's a nice truck.
Dude, I always
It's
feel
fun,
guilty,
man.
though.
Thank
Like,
you.
just even hearing you say that, it's like you get that little, arousal. We're 24 days away from watching football.
Yeah.
It don't even feel like
And
it.
I know it. I
swear
know
it don't
it's
feel
fake
like it.
football. I know it. And I'm going to yell at you not to put too much into it. And, conversely, we get real college football in 47 days. Real college football.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are some things you are going to look forward to or you are going to put stock in this Hall of Fame game for the Lions?
Nothing.
Hendon Hooker.
Right. I've been seeing
Nothing?
Hendon Hooker talk already.
Nothing.
Hendon Hooker's going to take
Nothing.
third string snaps. So
Nothing.
you ain't
Third
gonna-
string snaps?
Nothing.
I am hearing that he has lost his second string spot.
That's what they're saying.
I'm sorry.
From inside
That's
Allen
tough.
Park, I'm healing.
People
is tough.
were giving Neil and I, you were with us on Friday, people gave Neil and I shit for it, but I think the decision's already been made. And that's what good franchises do.
Yeah.
You know, to the people out there that think, hey, yeah, you're going to get this guy winning a job in the third quarter of an exhibition game. Man, wake up. It don't work that way. I don't think you're giving the brain trust enough credit. I think decisions have been made. Not 100% of the time. Every now and again, a guy, maybe can do something. But, Stick, I think you know this. That's an exception to the rule. I think decisions have been made. I really do.
Yeah, and honestly, who cares?
I couldn't agree.
Yeah, we're talking about our backup.
It's a backup core. I hope I never see him play.
Ever.
Yeah.
So, to me,
Never.
it's much ado about nothing. It just shows the embarrassment of riches we now have as Lions fans, to where the roster's set. Damn near the second string is set. We're literally in the preseason now. You're maybe looking at 5 guys that are in flux. It used to be your 75% of your team. You wanted to know who your starters were, where they were going to play, who's making the team. You already know that. We know the backfield, the offensive backfield. 5 running backs deep. We want Savon Vaki to get more carries.
We all knew
it's never going to happen.
We all grew up in the era that he's talking about. That's one thing that we all have in common. It don't matter what your age is. Not that long ago, there were jobs to be won.
Oh, absolutely.
Jobs.
Ton
like
of them.
legitimate jobs, okay? What job, Spenny, I'll ask you, what job can be won in camp or in these exhibition games?
Maybe right guard. That's about it.
Maybe.
I think it's Tate. I think it's
I
pretty
do
I
too.
think it's pretty set in stone.
I do
there.
Think
too.
about that. Out of
Maybe-
22 positions, it's 1 that you're thinking maybe.
Yeah.
It's not even like, oh, man, we need to figure – it's maybe.
Nick, and then you look at the 3-tech spot and you look at the nickel just because is Meek Robertson going to be healthy? Obviously, Lee McNeil's not going to be healthy. So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, see, you know your depth at this point. When I'm looking at the preseason this year for the Lions, I want to see the rookies go out there and prove they don't belong. I want to see Tate Ratledge throwing people around the field. I want to see Isaac Tesla running in the backfield or running in the defensive backfield free. I want to see Tyleek Williams in there being a space eater. I want to see Ahmed Hassanin get a lot of snaps in the preseason to see what he can do out there. So that's what I'm looking at this preseason is the rookies going out there and showing that they don't belong out there with the 4th string. It's not like Ahmed Hassanin's going to be going and lining up against Joe Alt in the whole Hall of Fame game. Joe Alt is not going to play in that game. But I want to see him look like he's better than the Chargers' 4th string tackle.
That's why we put way too much into it. I'm sorry we do because of that. That's one thing
It's football, Sean.
I want it.
We can't put enough into it.
No,
it's Lions football.
I think both things can be
Give
true.
me Lions football.
I can love and say, give me Lions football.
Freebase it,
and
however you
also
want to give
sit
it to
back
me.
and say, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
No, it doesn't, but it's Lions
Oh,
football.
I want it, yes.
And I want goodness, and I want to see a deep ball thrown.
I will, I'll be all in. And Spenny, we were talking about this the other day. As crazy as it sounds, do you know what the thing I most look forward to?
What?
Is it right at 8:11 or whatever it is when dun 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 my pants are just coming down.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna have to touch them. Once you hear the song, then all of a sudden you're just like, okay, what happened? Oh my gosh, I don't have any pants on. That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking
In the
forward
frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Right, that's the stuff I'm looking forward to, man.
Those days where it's hot out, but it's not hot out.
You got the air conditioning
windows
on.
open and the air conditioning on at the same time, and you're just laying there watching football.
You put the temperature down to 60, so you pretend it's like the fall.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
maybe I should make a fire. It's cold.
It's almost here, boys.
Even though it's 92 outside or whatever the
man.
case
I swear
may
I'm not
be.
ready for it yet. It's crazy.
I don't think I'm ready for it either.
I'm so caught up in the Tigers, and we just coming off a Pistons playoff, appearance.
Debacle.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an appearance. So, first one in a long time.
We don't
so.
even know what the Pistons
cool.
are doing now.
It-
Are the Pistons
they
still
are
getting
okay.
somebody for Dennis Schroeder? Is that still going to happen?
3-way deal?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
Love a good 3-way.
Yeah, I know, right? But I don't think they are.
Especially with a monk.
Yeah.
Listen, it got really real for me over the weekend. I went and got my Lindy's and I got my Phil Steele magazine.
Oh yeah.
Like when the college football magazines end up
Child's Dark Horse guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, how excited is Sparty for college football this year?
When they end up in the throne room, then I know we're this close. We're this, because that's where both the magazines go. The two favorite bathrooms, one goes in one, the other goes in the other, and when they're in there, you know it's close.
How's Utah looking?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, KG 6-6 if Michigan State's lucky.
6-6.
I'm hoping,
if they're lucky.
I'm hoping 7.
If they're lucky.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things for Michigan State.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
far as
they gotta
team,
win.
As
They
far
got-
as team camaraderie.
Yeah,
I'm not
they're-
talking skill. They're all getting along.
Is your
from
coach
what I
getting
understand.
fired if they don't win 6 games or become bowl eligible?
He should.
you should.
No,
He will.
he just got there last year.
He's
2
not-
years is
new-
all you got.
He's
New
not
AD.
their AD.
You're right.
New AD.
Oh, the new AD. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like
Okay.
I like what Coach Smith is building. I do. But you got to make a fucking bowl game. We're not saying go to the playoff. We're not saying get a natty. Make a bowl game, dude. It's the bare minimum.
If they don't go 6-6,
he's gone.
he's gone.
Yeah, I agree. And
gone.
I like their offense is going to be fun to watch this year. They've got Nick Marsh. They added 2 guys at wide receiver that are over 17 yards per catch. Like
They're 4 kids from St. Mary's.
yeah, they're going to be running down. They're going to be running and gunning. Like Aiden Childs, it's going to be on him. If Michigan State wins games, it's going to be because Aiden Childs plays well.
So much of what Michigan State does, though, and especially the really good years, starts in the trenches. And I'm terrified of their offensive line.
Yeah.
I am. I'm terrified of their offensive line.
But
I know
Especially
they're very excited about a couple of young pieces coming in on the defensive side,
Yeah.
including this defensive end from Louisiana that's supposed to be all that. Where even some people on the staff privately said, how the hell did we get this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, did somebody slide him an extra mil to come here? But
Probably.
when Michigan State was winning Big Tens,
they were running the ball.
it really
Big
was. It was.
I remember them days.
Our offensive line is going to dominate you.
Oh yeah, dude.
And the defensive
Shout out
line,
LJ Scott.
in particular, when I look back at that era, I don't think it gets the credit it deserves with the defensive line.
No.
How they were, for example, our guy who has been at Woodward a few times, a certain quarterback at Michigan who literally had his career ruined.
He was
at
scared.
Michigan State. He was terrified.
That was that was one of the
Devin
best
Gardner.
collegiate defenses I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah.
life.
What are we talking about?
Devin
Devin
Gardner.
Gardner.
Oh, okay.
And
Shout out.
we're
Good
not
dude. Good
dude.
dude.
Yeah,
But,
cool
he had his
Solid
career
progress.
ruined.
He
He had
cool
a
dude.
career ruined.
Shout out Shalik Calhoun, dude. But
I knew he wasn't it, though. I knew he wasn't it from the jump. But go ahead.
you're not looking for Michigan State to get to that. You need them to be good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying great. I'm not saying a force. I don't expect anything. Be a good team. Don't make stupid plays all the time that cost you games. And I do think that the trenches and the offensive line are obviously going to play a big part of that. But they got 3 transfers in there, in that offensive line, 3 4th, 5th-year guys that they're going to bring in here and hopefully solidify that offensive line. You got a guy coming back that is hopefully going to be healthy all year. So the offensive line should be much improved from last year.
You know what? I worry about the cohesiveness.
Yeah.
When you throw guys together, I do.
That's fair.
Maybe I'm old school like that, but
No, that's fair.
Spenny, if you honestly, when my daughter went to Michigan State, I think I told you, I was like, whatever bowl game they go to, that's our vacation. We haven't taken a vacation yet. I mean, it's a joke. She's been there 2 years. That shouldn't happen at a place like Michigan State. It should not happen.
And shout out to Spenny for
You're gonna wind up at the
ground
little
ball
Caesars Bowl.
of the year on an intern because my guy Luke that I hired, Skywalker, works in the recruiting department for Michigan State football. So he's a freshman. Well, he was a freshman in
you got
Michigan
the
State.
inside track.
Yeah, shit's pretty sweet. I didn't even know that.
Right, you
I
got
hired
the
him.
inside
He was
track.
working for a couple weeks, and Justin came up to me. He was like, he works at the recruiting department for Michigan State. I was like, no, I didn't know that. That's fucking
He
cool.
got all the tea.
So he's gonna give me some tickets next year. So I'm pretty hyped for that.
Good.
All the tea.
Good.
All right.
No, you're right. It's gonna be.
It's on Aiden Childs. It's what it is.
The game above bowl, or maybe the pinstripe bowl.
Yeah.
Let's go Duke's Mayo, man.
Oh, I'd be so happy.
You're gonna wind up at Ford Field with your daughter.
I would love it.
The game above bowl? Shout out.
I'm keeping my promise.
Is that what it's called?
I'm
Yeah, the
keeping-
game above bowl.
Game
now.
above bowl.
Shout out to
Yep.
my man Anthony. I forgot his last name. He's E&E. Friends with E&E.
Game
He's
above
one of
bowl.
he's one of the
and
owners
Shep.
of the.
Shep. Matt
Shep's
Shepard
the
is.
president
Oh,
of
yeah,
Game
Matt
Above.
Shepard's in.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
he was involved.
What is who's the biggest sponsor for that? Game Above?
Game Above?
Game Above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the company.
Yeah. It was the Motor City Bowl, like George Perlis started it and all that back at the Dome.
Bowl for a while.
Then we had the
yeah.
Quick Lane.
Quick Lane Bowl.
Yeah.
Shout out Game Above.
That's
All
the
right,
Game Above.
let's go to break. Stick, tell us about a pizza that's a Game Above.
Oh,
Buddies.
You don't even have to tell me which one. I already knew. It's Buddies. Detroit. Original. Just like us here at Woodward Sports.
Shout out.
Except we don't quite have the history that they do. And you want to go to the original one, 6 Mile and Conant. That is where we used to go before. We used to go downtown Detroit to Detroit Tigers Stadium. Deep dish pizza, man. Great salad that Ryan Ermanni loves. It's a Detroit original. You can save 10% right now. What's that code say? 10 meal.
10 meal.
10 meal. Order online. Get your buddy's pizza today.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Come celebrate the Tigers getting another W with the heavyweights. We're doing it once again. The White Claw Tour is going down, this time at Second Best right there in Midtown. One of our favorite places to be. We're there all football season for the pregame shows last year.
Shout out Second Best.
Now we're there
Love
for
it.
a Tigers
Love
game.
it.
The patty melt at Second Best is elite.
The shots.
Yes.
Smoked wings.
The wings are good too, yeah.
Oh.
The room temperature shots of JMO.
Oh, yeah.
Elite. But
Oh, yeah.
also the White Claw.
Hell, yeah.
Elite. That's what you're sipping on the whole damn time that you're there. Pre-game with the heavyweights, then head down to the game. The White Claw Tour with the Tigers and the heavyweights right here on Woodward Sports.
Shout out Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson sponsored the golf balls here today.
Shout
I got
out.
some Ben
Way to
Johnson
go.
golf balls.
Thanks.
Shout
And
out.
Titleist, too.
Hey.
Yeah.
Some Pro Vs.
I got some Pro Vs.
There you
And
go.
they got the little boxing glove on them, their logo and all
yeah.
that.
Nice,
Shout
nice.
out Ben
Man,
Johnson.
you know, it doesn't seem like a year ago, that first show at Second Best last year for the opener against the Rams.
Yeah.
That was the first time we were down there, yeah.
How the heck was that almost a year ago now,
That was
man?
awesome.
Oh, what a beautiful. You could not have asked for a better day,
No,
Stick.
Second Best is a great spot.
It was beautiful. It was that hot but not too hot. And game ended pretty coolly, too.
Pretty good ending to that one.
Pretty
for
good
sure.
ending to that.
Terry Foster was here earlier,
Uh-huh.
right? And we were having a debate. He said today was cold.
It's not cold.
No,
He was wearing a hoodie.
I can't call it cold.
He was saying it's cold.
Terry's old.
And I'm like, what are we doing
No,
here, Terry?
I
Like,
can't.
this is, to me, this is ideal weather.
I
like,
would-
75 degrees, cloud cover, but a little
Yes.
bit of sun peeking. Like, this is where my pale Irish ass could live my entire life comfortably.
I would take this over that shit that we had over the weekend any day.
Horrible.
Any
Yeah,
day. I
yeah.
can't stand it.
I like in between. I like 70 and sunny with a breeze.
Yeah.
This, we got the
But
breeze
this is
going.
the
oh.
closest
This
thing
isn't
to
bad.
it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
closest thing to it.
complaining about this
This
at all.
feels like I'm in my house, but I'm outside.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
that's what I want. That's what I want in life.
Terry's an elder statesman, you know.
He is.
No, I want nothing to do with what happened over the weekend.
No, that was awful.
Nothing to do with
That's
it.
what Neil likes. Neil likes
Yeah.
That
90
dry,
and
musty
nasty.
heat.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy because Neil used to be a pretty hefty fella. And
Big
Right.
fat
It makes
guys
no sense.
Don't love heat.
No, we don't.
So maybe it's just his flex now that he's thin.
When I
Yeah,
I
right.
love the heat.
Definitely
I
tried.
love to try
Let me
that.
tell you something. When
I
I
love going
when
to
I was
Miami.
on the grill, like around 4 o'clock, that was like peak. Oh my gosh, where did all these kids come from? So I had to fire a bunch of shit on there. It was like I was in a shower
Oh, I
outside
bet.
on the 4th of July.
I
Oh
bet.
yeah.
I'm not because the smokers like over there. I have like 20 burgers and a bunch of sausages and dogs on. It was just one. I may as well been in the shower. I'm with you, Stick. This is perfect. Give
I
me
was in the
this.
pool all day, 4th of July.
Good for you.
Yeah. That's why I threw my shoulder out throwing my niece and nephew around.
That's when you know it's a good day.
Yeah.
Tossing kids around.
Dude, my shoulder hurts so bad.
Welcome to elder statesman territory, my friend.
Yeah, that's definitely my old guy of the month.
Yeah, there you go.
It's getting there, man.
And I had bounce house deliveries all weekend
See?
long.
That's
and
what I'm talking.
My God.
No, I want nothing to do with
we
it.
started at 7 a.m. to beat the heat, but by 1 o'clock,
Screw
and
that.
oh my God, 95 degrees,
Yikes.
300-pound bounce house, sweating, dripping. But
Ugh.
it was a good workout.
There
and
you
then
go.
you're done at 1, you got the rest of the day.
That's fair.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's
That's
not
not a
awful.
bad thing.
Not an awful weekend.
No, you know what, guys? And I feel guilty because I've had so much fun with the Tigers, but I've turned the page. I'm in football mode. I am.
Yeah, and you know what helps
Really?
tomorrow?
I am.
What helps that tomorrow? Quarterback drops on Netflix.
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Can't wait.
Tomorrow.
I cannot wait.
I wonder if I'll get a cameo.
Yeah, broadcaster 6.
Hey,
They didn't call you back?
They did not call me back. You know, they had me in wide receiver, but I don't know if I've got a spot in quarterback just yet. You think they would pick a spot from our show if it's focused around Jared Goff?
Right.
Because,
Well, hello.
yeah.
Hello.
You did it last year.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can I, you call the biggest fan of Jared Goff there is in this city?
That's fair.
The guy who defends him against these yahoos the most? Like,
Oh, that's a fact.
they didn't call me. They didn't use any of my sound drops
It's fair.
defending him against Easy's dumbass.
They might have. They might have. You never know.
You
I
never
hope
know.
they do. ESPN or Netflix or whoever shot it, you have full credit to use me glazing Jared Goff for the rest of my life.
I love Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Shut up.
Shut up.
What? But are you looking forward to? Did you
Yes.
watch wide receiver?
Yes. See, I'll take that. I told Hard Knocks is just. I'm sorry, it's made.
They starting
for
to catch up,
television.
though. They saw what Netflix did, and now they're starting to get a little more dramatic with theirs. Because the Bears one was actually pretty good last year.
But as we talked about a year ago at this time, okay, it did its job.
Right.
You know what it did? It convinced idiots that the Chicago Bears were on the precipice of something. Man, I don't know. Did you watch Hard Knocks? That Bears team's got it together. Listen, I think they got themselves a coach, and it's like that's the whole point.
it did
It's
the same
a
thing with us.
made-for-television show, right?
We was on Hard Knocks, and then we proceeded to go 1-6.
That's what
before the turnaround happened.
That's what people have to remember. I hate to say it, that is not a facsimile of what camp really is. It
Unless
just
you're the
isn't.
Giants, then it is what it
shows
is.
you exactly how inept they are.
Yeah.
I
That's
love the Hard Knocks for Detroit. You think that's all BS?
no, not all BS, but it's made for television.
Yeah, it is.
It
Well,
is.
Of course.
It's
I mean,
made.
They're gonna.
But the problem is,
creatively edit stuff, but like the Aiden Hutchinson singing Billie Jean.
that
fantastic theater.
stuff is cool. But what it does is you're trying to sell people that this is going in the right direction.
Yep.
And people watch. I mean, you remember a year ago
Well,
at this time.
let's be honest. They can't come in and do a smear campaign if you're letting them behind the curtain, right?
And
Unless
then,
you're the Giants.
and then I will also add, let's be honest, every one of those motherfuckers know where the cameras are.
Yep.
And so because of that, it is not what camp really is.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
is. And I don't know what to tell you.
See, I like Hard Knocks because I take it for what it is, like you said, and I
If
like
you do
seeing
that, then
behind
that's
the screen.
okay.
I'm
That's
not,
okay.
I'm not excited for quarterback. I'm not going to like this because it's going to make me relive the Lions getting their throats ripped out at their home.
Oh, grow up,
That's
Peter
what
Pan.
it's going to end. That's how it's going to end. We know the ending of this season. We know the ending of this series.
That's why I
and it
didn't like
doesn't
wide
end
receiver.
well. So I'm. It's going to be cool to watch, and then they're going to get to end the playoffs start and hear the Lions come. I'm like, all right,
I
click.
think
Yeah,
especially
maybe y'all will listen to Jared Goff.
I think especially for our job, those shows, you guys, I don't think it gets enough play. I remember vividly doing shows with you guys a year ago around this time, and people were besieging us with, look out for the bear chatter. And you're just going,
well,
That's the Bears.
Huh? It's the
Off-season
off-season.
champs 3 years in a row.
What
Right.
season, baby?
like, what?
Opposed,
Like,
baby.
well, you clearly you haven't watched Hard Knocks. Okay, that doesn't. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that it's. You know what?
Okay,
I
but
get it.
did
People
you,
enjoy
but
it.
You watched wide receiver, right?
Yes.
And it's a little different than Hard Knocks. It's
It
more
is.
about following
It
them
follows
around.
their story
It
throughout
goes
the season.
goes
Yeah.
through their life and stuff like that.
Marcus Mariota's storyline last year, holy shit. It
Kirk
was so
Cousins.
funny.
Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins
Cousins
is going to be
yeah.
crazy this year. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be him getting benched.
You're right.
Yeah.
Why it always happened to Kirk Cousins?
God
man.
always happened to Kirk. Spartan dog.
But like, so are you looking at it a little bit different in that
100%.
aspect? Okay.
I think because it's prime. You've been out to camp, I'm sure, okay?
No, okay. I've never been to Allen Park.
What?
Dude.
Yeah.
So
I love going to training
not
camp.
that long ago, we were out there like every day, okay? It's not real. What the way that they do it,
football practice.
the way that they do it, the way that they present it, the way that it's not real. I talked to the executive producer about it, and like he even said, he was like, yeah, he goes, we have to spice it up and things like that. Yeah. And I get that, but the unfortunate part is I get that, you get that. A lot of people don't get that.
Unfortunate.
That stuff
but that's who they're marketing to.
Yep, 100%.
Who's doing Hard Knocks this year?
I have
Do
no
we know?
clue.
Do we know what team it is?
I don't know. I got
no clue. Starting the season and mid-season.
Shua in the chat. I wonder if Goff will admit he was concussed.
That's
what I like. That's where I think like the Goff haters, they're gonna actually have to sit there and listen to Goff talk about it in a way that I think everybody wants to hear his honest opinion, because we didn't really get a great press conference afterwards or a close of the year, discussion or a state of the union after it. It was just kind of. That's it. That's the end of the season. So now we may get some better insight. And hopefully he's like, man, fuck Ben Johnson for not having a good game.
That's not what I guarantee
I want to see the footage of Ben Johnson throwing the game. That's what I want to see. Because I was told he threw the game. So they got to have it on camera.
Yeah. The 2 weeks leading up to the game, you won't see any Ben Johnson.
Yeah, no
he
Ben
wasn't
Johnson.
around.
He just disappears. Where's Ben Johnson?
It's cool to hold out hope that Jared Goff's going to go out there and say, it's his fault. Right. Jared Goff's going to go out in his press conference or his interview during that week. He's going to say, I didn't perform well enough. I need to be better. I cost my team. And
typical quarterback speech.
And it's true.
Did you guys figure, is there a Hard Knocks this year? There's got to be,
There's got to
right?
be.
Oh, it definitely is. I just don't know.
Are they doing that Belichick one? Wasn't there talk of doing a Belichick one?
Oh, yeah, with UNC, because nobody wanted to do it.
If they do that,
I think it was.
I'm tuned in for that.
Wasn't it Belichick and his
Buffalo Bills?
It's the Bills?
Yeah.
I thought they
I don't know. They looking it up.
In 2025, the NFL's Hard Knocks series will feature the Buffalo Bills during the training camp in the NFC East Division during the regular season. Training camp series with the Bills will premiere on HBO Max August 5th.
That'd be solid.
Yeah, so that's coming up too.
Yeah. Keep watching they window close.
I thought it was like you can't do a team that made the playoffs or something. I thought it was supposed to be
I thought it was a losing team, but
it's anybody who will say yes.
They're getting desperate now.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to catch that high with the Lions one. The Lions one was the best one they've had in the past couple of years.
I thought it was awesome.
I did too.
And they turned it around that year.
Yeah, and it actually
that was
worked.
the year the turnaround happened.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's see. In season for a second year, Hard Knocks will follow an entire division during the regular season. Oh, so they're going to follow the NFC East during the regular season.
That's a fun
Cowboys,
division.
Giants,
That's a fun division to follow.
That'll be cool.
Yeah,
the
Giants switching it up a little bit.
The Giants quarterback room.
Oh,
like
God.
that'll be fun.
Yes.
I think we've all had our fill of Jerry Jones and obviously Philly and Washington.
I never get tired of watching them fail though.
Yeah,
never ever. Chef's kiss.
Like you get me around December when the Dallas Cowboys are back. When that stuff starts, there's nothing better. There's nothing. Primetime game, late November, early December. The Dallas Cowboys are back, and then they get
but Sean, they got
punked on
George
national
Pickens this time.
television.
Yeah, they got George Pickens now.
It's the final piece.
Yeah.
Final piece. That's it.
They did get Jaden Blue. Watch out for him at running back. Sleeper pick for fantasy.
Watching out for nothing Cowboys.
Danny G, I need Goff dropping a Osama Ben Johnson in my life. Can you
go.
imagine if he say that?
Oh,
well, and then the last game of the season, Osama Ben Johnson decided.
I just want to see the footage.
Pass.
I just want to see the footage. That's it.
That would be crazy. All right, let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking some football here. But first, let me tell you about Gold Crown. Ooh. Gold Crown Extracts. It's where rosin is their game. They've got the infused pre-rolls. They've got the nerd-coated live resin gummies. They are delicious. Exclusive concentrate collabs. Follow them at Gold Crown Extracts on social media or go to goldcrownextracts.com to find out where you can get some. It's Gold Crown. They are the top of the line.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, For those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
And welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. Sean Belesian is here. Spencer Raxter is here.
Hello.
KG is here. Young Justin's out on the course. Intern Ryan, that's his name, Ryan?
Yep.
All right, the Ryan kid's here. And Neil and D-Mac are out golfing right now.
Shout out.
I wonder what they're shooting right now.
Probably shooting pretty well. At least they said they were turning it up.
Yeah.
Neil and D-Mac are almost like the perfect scramble pair.
Oh, yeah.
Because D-Mac can pound the piss out of it. I mean, D-Mac's a hell of a golfer regardless. Like, he was telling me he just shot 3 over at a really tough course from the Blacks the other
Makes
day.
sense.
Yeah.
But Neil, you get him anywhere 120 yards within the pin.
His short game.
It's unreal.
Stupid.
He's going to chip it into a one putt every single time.
Like, I can take him to putt and hustle everyone there.
Yeah.
Like, literally everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And I said that earlier to Neil after he had a nice chip. He's like, well, when you can't strike the ball, you work on this.
Right.
It was like, fair enough.
That's fair.
But then D-Mac, it's a 300-yard drive, and Neil chips it in.
There you go.
They're the perfect combo for a scramble. If anybody watching is ever looking for two mates to go win a scramble,
Neil and D-Mac.
Neil and D-Mac, I'd say at our network, they're the best golfers.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
Yeah.
Who else do you think's a good golfer?
Braylon's up there.
Braylon's just inconsistent, though. Braylon can crush the ball. He's just inconsistent.
You're up there as well.
I appreciate that.
Brady's good. Brady's a good golfer.
I haven't seen Brady, but he's an athlete. He was a
baseball
baseball
guy,
player.
So, yeah.
Can believe that.
He should be. I think he's over there.
I want to see Maz golf so bad.
Oh, shit. Maz on the golf.
You think Maz could swing a club?
Yeah, somehow. My dream foursome would be probably me,
Pause.
literally anybody else, and Easy and Maz. Because I just want to see.
Oh,
Let's make it happen.
Is that my phone?
that would be.
Is it?
No, it's
Oh,
Snoop.
no. Okay, yeah.
Hey,
sure.
shout out to whoever.
Yeah, Snoop.
It's the DRE, man.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out.
exactly it.
Yeah. Easy and Matt, because I saw Easy and Chris Platty try to throw baseballs at opening day.
Really?
And, Easy didn't have a dad, so I won't hold it too much past him. So he never, played a catch. Chris has no excuse. His was they just looked like they've never thrown a baseball before. Like, they didn't know how to do it.
There's
It was
nothing
crazy.
more emasculating than watching someone try to throw a baseball who can't throw a baseball.
Like the video of, what's his name? The owner of Fanatics. Michael Rubin. The video of him trying to throw a baseball at the fast pitch thing he put in the Fanatics headquarters. That was literally how Easy and Chris looked.
Easy looked like he couldn't throw it in the promo y'all had. He couldn't throw a baseball in that, let alone the actual.
I really want to see Easy. Easy's golfed before, and he said he had a good time, but he said his first time golfing, that was his best, and then the beginner's luck kind of ran out. So,
Damn.
I really want to see Maz and Easy in a golf cart just being pissed off because their shit's going in the woods every time, though. I'm hitting the ball. I hate golf. I hit the ball and it goes into the woods.
Yeah. Why you busting?
You could throw a baseball, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do not. I love watching the game of golf. I do not enjoy it. I think you have to have the psyche for it. I do not have the psyche for it. I do not. I'm telling you, that's exactly it.
Yeah, you have to have goldfish mentality.
You guys can make a bad shot and laugh it off. I'm done. I'm shot.
I'm done.
I openly admit I don't like to put myself in that position. And so, like Spenny, you know what? Great guy. We get along. Hey, oh, come on. Have a great time. I'm like, Spenny, I will ruin your day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to you. I'm your friend. I'm not going to. I would ruin your day, so I won't go.
You to break your clubs tight?
No. I do bad things in the woods.
Oh.
Yeah, I go in the woods and I do bad things.
Right.
Yeah. What?
I'm
not incriminating myself here, Stick. I go in the woods and I do bad things.
What does that mean?
Right.
Just in case there's somebody watching, I refuse to incriminate myself.
Taking a dump.
When a statute of limitations runs up, I'll have a tell-all book. I'll give you one.
My friend pooped his pants at a golf course one time when we were playing.
I do bad things.
we shotgun beers, and he goes, "Hey, Spenny, watch this." He goes to fart.
No.
I saw it. I saw it hit his pants.
I saw it. Oh, no.
So, and he didn't have a spare pair of underwear, so he's using his towel to clean himself.
Oh.
Leaves him just hanging. Leaves
Come
the
on,
underwear
dog.
and the towel just hanging in a bush.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, "You think I'm good?" Because the bush was like blocking the green where people were that we just got off of was blocking that green. And we're like, "Yeah, you're good." And I turn, and the tee box on the next hole, just clear shot of him. And there was a dude and his girl on the tee box.
No.
And, it was
horrible.
really funny. I don't think I've ever laughed harder on a golf course.
That's
It was
horrible.
on 17 too. So like one hole away from we were finishing 17, going to 18, and he just pooped his pants.
Yeah, nothing changes like the hierarchy of what's important in your day than pooping your pants.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it becomes the most important thing going on in your life, no matter what's happening.
I can imagine. I've never done it, but I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't.
Been on the verge, but
Never?
I can't. Yeah, no, I've come close. I've come close to shitting myself.
Never?
But never have I ever.
All right.
How shocked,
As a
Sean.
grown man, never
All
have I
right.
ever.
I can't think of a time where I've sharded before.
Yeah,
I think
but-
we've all sharded before.
But you don't let the shark complete.
Just-
Like,
just-
once you feel a little
You
Yeah.
bit,
turn the speaker down. Like all the kids over there learning golf.
just like,
people just be letting the shark go. Once you feel it, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
consistency.
Yeah, all those kids are going. All those kids are going. See, Mom, it happens for them, and they're just letting drives go right
yeah,
now.
they're pooping their pants right now. I mean, like I said, I've sharded before. I've never outright shit my pants.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay.
On the golf course, though, like
All
I
right,
said,
I turned the speaker down. It's not.
if it
a
were to happen,
poor kids and their moms are like, "What is going on?" We're just here
The
for
one
golf
little
lessons.
kid ran into his mom's arms. See, that man up there said I could go poo poo in my pants.
Well, this was our longest standing broadcast.
Right.
Until this-
there's nothing wrong about pooping your
Like
pants.
Sean at Phil B.
Those kids are probably standing with pants full of poop right now.
I think there needs to be a little more honesty around here. That's all I'll say.
I
I think there's.
I ain't got
that's
nothing to hide,
all I'm
Sean.
gonna say.
JG's lying. That's
So
all.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
I think
I
there's
ain't got
gotta
nothing
be
to lie to you about.
little bit. That's it.
You know who shit the bed over the weekend was the Guardians because the Tigers swept them, baby.
Exactly.
That
What
Big
exactly.
Scooby coming in there striking
Didn't
out
we
10.
need that? Like,
Needed
I'm
it.
not being funny. I think because it was the Guardians, we needed that.
I
Didn't we
hate the
take-
Guardians
swept us
so
earlier.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We
got
needed
our lick
that.
back.
That motherfucker Stephen Kwan still almost did it too.
It's-
When he came screaming in to catch that Veerling double,
Yep.
I could have sworn he was going to get it.
That was our get right, though. 'cause
I
he
hate
missed
Stephen
it.
Kwan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
It-
Tiger killer.
He's on base constantly
Every
against
time.
us. It's insane.
Go get him.
I think
Go get 'em.
right.
Like, those are the guys that you go get. The guys that whoop your ass.
I think we needed that. I don't know if it was much for the team. We needed that. I think we needed to exercise that little demon. But like I said, listen, the Houston Astros are dangerous right now.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a given. How about the Jays? They might never lose again, right? I mean, they've been on fire. So
yeah.
we have to remind ourselves it's a $1.62, and how many times have we seen it? A team goes into the playoff, and pitching becomes paramount. And right now, you know what? Whereas maybe a couple weeks ago, I didn't feel good about it because I'm still terrified of Jack. I am. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a wild card.
Terrified of Jack. You know what? Casey Mize is all right.
Yeah.
Tried to tell you.
And you're right.
I tried to
Casey
tell you.
Mize is all right, man.
Are you comfortable with him as the number 2 starter in a World Series bound team?
Do you know what I'm thinking? This is where my brain is. This goes back to our conversation earlier. ALCS, Hunter Brown v. Tarek Skubal, Valdez v. Mize.
Cool. I'm cool with
How
that.
does that sound?
Could be worse.
It could definitely be worse. It's not pitching chaos. So
as you have
I'll take
Skubal,
that.
Yeah,
The other part of the
I'll
equation.
take Skubal that much over
Hunter Brown.
He's having a phenomenal season, and I would give an advantage to
Valdez that much over.
Yeah,
Mize.
but not like
No, yeah.
cavernous or anything.
No.
But that's why I feel Houston, because if you turn that around, and say, all right, you're going to see one of these guys 3 times, and you're going to see the other guy 2 times potentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
But
what
their
gets me
team-
a little concerned.
Has the Astros really changed that much in a year? Because we wiped the floor with them in the playoffs, though.
That's true.
I don't think they have. I think they're pitching stronger. I do. Hunter Brown wasn't this good.
No, he wasn't.
Hunter
last
Brown
year.
is. I'm in the conversation for who's number 2 behind Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, we got AJ Hinch for the Astros.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
That subplot,
Best manager in the game, baby.
Yep.
But that subplot is always going to be there, right?
Yep.
When your guys coming back into town, you put that extra pressure on yourselves, and like AJ Hinch, he's a better manager than they have now.
I have a feeling that's how it ends, though. I have a feeling if I had to bet, I would
Tigers,
say
Astros?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it ends.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be cool with that.
The Yankees can't hold up in a 7-game series.
We're seeing it. It's
Shout out your boy Rod Parker talking that Max Fried
Hey,
talk.
I mean,
Shout out Rod
how often have we talked
Guy
about
is
this
such a
though?
that was crazy.
Nobody let Brian Cashman know that his pitching fails him every year. And I figured, especially after the injury, that he'd go and do something about it. And he hasn't.
Yeah.
So don't tell him. Don't tell him that year after year after year, pitching fails them.
It's a choice at this point.
It is.
How have you
I'm
not figured it out
sorry.
in all
It's-
these years?
Chicks stick the long ball.
And
though,
there's-
man.
and
That's
there's-
what
like,
sells tickets,
it's Yankee
and that's all they-
Stadium. It's the
that's all they care
pinstripes.
about, right?
There's a reason when we talk about those Tiger teams from 10, 15 years ago, you guys, there's a reason why we smoked that ass in the playoff every time.
Yeah.
Our pitching got the better of them. Period.
yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
Each one of those series. So don't tell him. Don't tell Cashman because I'd love to see this continue.
I mean, he tried. Garrett Cole
in
and Max.
fairness, Cole got
Right,
hurt.
Garrett
That's
Cole
exactly
and
it.
Max Fried would have been just as good as any other 1-2 in the league. If
Garrett Cole always injured. So.
Garrett Cole got hurt.
More often than not, the pitching fails the Yankees, and they're failing them right now. How they're handing this division away is unbelievable. Jays are good.
Jays are good.
Yeah.
Jays are good. I think
They're
they're
not
really
that good. Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't that good,
but
for sure.
kind of in that Minnesota Viking thing. But look at the little Jay grew up.
It's just crazy though. Like the Tigers are that much better than everybody, and how did they get there? Right? That's what's crazy. We're
Sky
talking about all
Harris.
these teams, like the Yankees, oh the Jays, they're cute little story. The Tigers have come out of nowhere within the past 365
Culture
days.
counts
to
for
become
something
this.
too, man.
Yeah.
It's just it does.
That's what I'm saying. They're having fun.
Yeah,
They're playing together.
it does.
Like
Shout out
it's-
to the big three moving up to Erie together. When you look at
Oh,
Clark,
yeah.
McGonigal, and Briseño, all of them got bumped up to
Yeah.
Double-A Erie. So you like to see
Did you
that?
see the Whitecaps? What they posted?
They're like, damn.
It was something like some last one out, turn the lights off, or something like that. I just took the whole damn franchise
Yeah,
with them.
that's-
That's what's cool about Grand Rapids. If you've ever been to a Whitecaps game over there, like when a big star is in rehab or comes through, like that place sells out.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's wall to
Yeah.
wall, and they do a great job.
Have you
Shout out
guys been
Kenny
down to
Baxter.
Toledo? Have you been?
I
to
haven't.
Toledo?
I always wanted to go, though.
Go.
Yeah.
That is a really cool spot.
It's a fun
Yeah.
ballpark.
Yeah, it's a and the surroundings are really really cool.
Might have to do
It's-
that when the boys hit AAA because
Yeah.
they being fast track right
Yeah.
now. So.
By the way, the kids over there all gave up on golf. They turned into a bunch of Belegians. This game's not for me, and they're
Playing
over there
soccer now?
destroying soccer balls. Yeah, I'm with you, kids.
But much to Spendy's point, like, is it time to start giving Scott Harris credit, like, for what he's done with this Tigers team?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
like,
it's past time, isn't
you-
it? It's past
If
time.
Al Avila's getting trickle down credit,
It's-
Scott Harris
no,
gets
don't
credit.
Stop with
He
that.
gets trickle down
He does
credit.
get trickle
It's
down.
I mean,
credit.
it's
It's
insane.
it's not like Matt Patricia trickle down credit that he was claiming that him and Bob Quinn were claiming.
But one season was a miracle type season. This season they're
Yeah.
exceeding
legit.
expectations.
1,000%.
But we haven't won anything per se. So that's why I asked, is it
who
time?
Who brought in AJ Hinch?
He did.
There it is.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that to me, that's been the pivotal point
do you-
of last
to-
year.
To
and
me,
this year.
he won't officially be judged until the young guys are up, though.
See, do you know what I was going to say? I think the honeymoon period for this team ends the second these playoffs start. We're all going, oh, isn't this great? Because it happened so late last year. But this goes back to our conversation in the first segment. That honeymoon period ends in the first round of the playoff. If, God forbid, you're out like that, everybody's going to go like this.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
a
it.
fact.
I mean, that's the way it is.
Especially if they don't do that much at the
But we're
deadline.
going to do it.
I know,
We're
but
going to do it.
That's the stuff that frustrates me with sports fandom, right? There's like 3 years ago, your team was awful. Now, if you don't make it out of the first round, this guy that built the team and got you there to build these expectations is no longer good enough. That's what drives me nuts about some sports when teams get successful, right? It's almost like you immediately forget what it took to get there and who got you there.
Oh, the Lions are a perfect example.
Oh, yeah, Jim Caldwell to me was a perfect example.
We had that conversation.
Yeah, I love Jim Caldwell.
Big love for Jim.
Before Dan Campbell, he's my favorite coach of all time.
It drove me out of my mind because what we did, we made the mistake of we compared the Lions to the Lions as opposed to, no. This is how the National Football League works.
Right.
And so because of that, I think people – we were all guilty of it. You take the less than and try to put it on a pedestal that it doesn't belong. And but stick to your point. The Lions making it to the playoff and win a game, multiple games, and people are going to be devastated at that.
Yeah. If they only win 2 playoff games this year, Sean, it's a failure.
Like, think about that.
That's what I'm being told.
It's a little different with the Lions because they are tangibly close to a championship.
Yes.
But
like the Tigers may be there, but we don't know yet.
But I think that same dynamic, you're a guy that never saw a playoff win in your life.
It's a fact.
Never. You never saw a playoff win. And now we've graduated to a level so quickly where I'll be right there with you. If the Lions win 2 playoff games, I'll be mad. I don't know, mad. Sad. Disappointed.
I mean, you should.
Disappointed.
Not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, not mad. Yeah. Disappointed is a better word.
Was there anything worse than my?
We deserve that right as fans and all we've been through at this point.
My old man was a cop. This is a true story. My old man was a cop, and this one time, he never gave me a curfew. Never. He never said you have to be home at this time. So you know how it is. You have to stretch it.
Of course.
You stretch it. And one time I came home at 4:30 in the morning, and I was 16. And I thought I got away with it. And I sneak in, and then all of a sudden the door opens. And immediately my arms go in the position. Immediately I go
Scarred up.
And you know what he did? He stood in the doorway. He goes, I never gave you a curfew. I know. I guess I'm just disappointed right now. And then shut the door.
Ooh.
And I'm sitting in my bed going, please come back here and beat me. I want you to beat me. Listen, kick my throat right there. I want you to kick my throat. Anything better than that. Don't. No, Dad, get your billy club. Crack my skull. Whatever that's so, yeah. That's.
I think there's a
guess that's that
dichotomy.
point.
I think there's a dichotomy of sports fans, though, because I'd rather be on this side, which I am, to where it's if the Lions don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure because those are the realistic expectations that they could have. Let's go Lions, baby.
Yeah, damn right.
Then when I hear, someone, got to be careful who I talk about around here, might be hanging out, someone in local media say, hey, the Red Wings have made the playoffs 20 of the last 30 years. Let's cut them some slack. No. Dude, what? I don't care about the was it awesome? Was it my entire life that the Red Wings made the playoffs?
Amazing,
yes. They haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. You don't get slack for 30 years ago. No, if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's a failure. Just like where the Lions are right now, they are one of the best teams in the league. They have shown that they have the ability to get there to the NFC Championship game and choked it away. If you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a failure. You're sitting at the big boy table now.
That's like saying,
that's what happens.
That's like saying, get the Lions a break. They won in the 50s.
We've always been at the
kids'
kids' table. We've always been at the kids' table. We've always been if we get into the playoffs, it's awesome. You feel you're not there anymore.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. You can't be respected as an NFL team and not say that it's Super Bowl or bust. That's how it works.
This is the longest drought in Detroit Red Wing history. A franchise that's been around for 100 years. The longest drought in history.
It's crazy.
Knock it off.
But to me, there's some aspect of knowing where you're from, too, though. You could be all boisterous about where the Lions need to be in Super Bowl or nothing. I'm never going to forget growing up on government cheese. Right? I'm never going to.
You cut that stuff and put it on some nacho chips, by the way. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was the best.
But now that we're eating steak, I'm not going to be like, oh, man, this steak sucks.
That
I
shit is cute right now.
It's
but
not cute.
imagine the Lions. Imagine the Lions are where they were last year, losing in the divisional round for the next 10 years.
To me,
you would eventually get tired of that.
But that steak's always going to taste better than the government cheese.
No, for sure. But
every day.
But if I'm in the spot,
I'm not going to complain. I don't have my peppercorn sauce.
If I'm in the spot where I am able to order a nice steak, and they give it to me and it's not cooked the way I ordered it, you're goddamn right. I'm sending it back.
How do you think Bills fans feel being to 4 straight Super Bowls and not cashing in? They don't get credit for 4 Super Bowls.
I know they don't get credit for it, but damn, I'd take it.
Do you know what it reminds me of, though? The flip side to that are all those idiots out there who, and I got besieged by one last week after one of the shows that Neil and I did. The Lions suck and always will suck. What?
Yeah.
Do you not pay attention? How about the Golden State Warriors? How about the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
How about the New England Patriots? How about the New Jersey Devils? Wayne Gretzky doesn't have a negative word to say about anything or anybody, and once called the New Jersey Devils a Mickey Mouse organization.
Yeah.
And then they went and won multiple.
How about the Panthers?
I refuse. I will not accept that logic. So I'm with you, Stick. While I remember the government cheese.
Of course. Never forget where you came from.
I don't want that mentality of, well, this is the way it's always been. No. We have the right people in place now.
Yeah.
We have the
if
right
they top
people
out
in
an
place.
NFC championship every year for the next 7, 8 years, I'm going to be upset.
I don't
am.
wanna think about
I'm
that.
not.
I would cry.
Listen,
If this
I
ends
would
and
be
you don't have
upset
a
if-
championship,
You would be upset, Stick.
I've lived my whole life without them having a championship and sucking. If they don't win a championship and they're good, I've enjoyed these
You would
last
feel
Lions
right.
seasons.
If the Lions don't cash one in, it would break
You
me.
would feel right.
it would
man.
be.
It would break me.
If they're a winning organization for the rest of your life but never cashed in the Super Bowl, you would feel right.
It would be the cop in Les Mis. I'd go to the end of the bridge, sing some song, and then throw myself off the bridge.
Right.
Last year they
And
were
then
15-2, right? I enjoyed 17 weeks of football.
Yeah.
And I can't complain that they lost
16.
3.
And then it was all wiped out like that. It was all wiped out in a snap.
But my brain's not going to allow me to be like, yeah, that season was awful. Those
No, it
15
wasn't.
games
It was
awful.
our best season ever as a franchise, but it
ended in failure.
nothing.
Yeah, it ended in failure. It was a good season. It ended in failure.
If Jared Goff retires like in 5 years, okay, and this and then you know when it's over, right?
Yeah.
You do. You know when
Yeah.
I can't go through with that.
It'll break me.
No, I'm not being funny. I can't.
break
It
you.
will
Yes,
break
it will.
me.
It would suck.
I will be
It would
Javert.
suck.
If you were Lions fans when they went through 0-16,
I was.
and you went through Matt
That's
Patricia,
why, though.
You're telling me you're not going to be. It's going to
Yes.
break your fandom.
That's
if they don't
why.
win a
Because we
Super
finally
Bowl?
got a taste of the
That's
good
why.
life.
Yes,
That's why it'll break
because
me.
I am a Lions fan, and it took them so long to
Yes.
even get competency in the building.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that's coming again.
I don't know. If you
Outside
could
of Dan Campbell and them, I don't know when that's coming again.
If you can endure that low, you can endure this plateau. That's all I'm saying. Right? Like, if you can.
Two things can be true, because I agree with you, but at the same time, I would be
disagree
upset if
with
they
you.
didn't cash in. Like,
Listen, I
two
want a
things
Super
can be
Bowl
true.
just as much as you guys. But
I will never forget where I came from.
I don't know.
I watched every game of that 0-16 season.
That's
I will never forget
that's
where I
why,
came from.
listen, those people that year, and we all knew them. Man, I hope the Lions go 0-16. This ownership has to own it. No. We have to own it.
We own it.
We have to live with that every day of our lives, okay? And Stick, it's funny you bring that up because that's why if I want my soul to be cleaned, if I want my soul to be purged, I have to win.
Yeah.
And if
Purified
not,
in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
I am going to be Javert.
Yeah.
I will sing some fruity song and fling myself off.
Would you watch Les Mis last night? Or
Yes.
something?
I am warning you, Javert, and I'll sing some song. And
He got the voice, though.
I am backwards. I am backwards off that deck.
I love this comment by Big Con 51.
Shout
5
out.
years ago, it took 8 total years to enjoy 15 weeks of football. And that's
kind of true.
Yes, very.
But that's what I'm
There's
saying,
validity
like,
to that. There's
you-
Maz.
you
There's
can't-
validity.
You can't convince me that 15-2 was bad.
It's not.
The season
But
ended in failure.
Yes.
It will
You
never.
can't-
season
Fine.
ended.
Yeah.
That's
It will
fine.
never be remembered
Yeah.
the way it's supposed to
But
be
it'll
because
never-
how it
A
ended.
15-2 season will never break me.
Listen, can I say that? But when the era's over, when we know the era's over, if we don't have a Super Bowl, do you know what? For the first time in my life, I might say, because I have never, ever said this. Never. If this era is over, and we'll know when it's over, I might be that guy
They'll
that,
never
that
do it.
at that point in time go, holy shit.
It'll never
My
happen.
grandpa's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to have to
Yeah, at
walk
this
to
point.
instead of walking
doesn't
to
happen now.
instead of
It's never gonna happen for real.
instead of walking to his grave like Larry Bird with the number one finger up. I'm going to have to walk with my head down and go, you were right, Grandpa. And I'm going to join you now, and then I'll jump off the bridge. Because exactly. I'm a stronger man by far. But really, this is.
Why are you so good at that?
There are powers in me.
Sean took a theater class and
He's
they
a
tell
performer.
nobody.
He's a
Yeah.
performer for
I'm
sure.
telling you that, like, to your point, that's a perfect way to say it. Like, when I say break me, I'm not saying I'm going to die.
I probably
I might, for the first time in my life, sit back and go,
It was up.
they were all right. We are never going to win. It is never going to happen. This franchise is accursed. They have been.
How old are you, Sean?
75. They're 20. They've aged me 20 years more than I really am.
55 and
55.
And now's the time you're going to start thinking
Yes.
that'll never happen?
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
said, dude, we're
Yes.
finally tasting the steak.
Yes.
People have come and gone, and the Lions haven't done a damn thing.
Because I heard about
That's
filet.
one of them. I understand.
Like, come
I
on,
heard
man. What are we
about
talking about?
filet, and then I got a chance to taste it.
Yeah.
And it was great.
And it was
it's great.
undercooked.
And I want more.
Yeah, or it was over. That filet was well done.
One day more. And
You know where you don't have to worry
Sean,
about your
Sean.
filet being undercooked or overcooked?
Black Rock.
Black Rock, because you do
damn
it
right.
yourself.
Yeah,
Go to
if
Black.
it's over
Unless you're
it's your
Sam
fault.
Flannel.
Telling
Sam
you.
Flannel don't cook his own steak.
Sam Flannel, not surprised there.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to blackrockrestaurants.com
Justin
to
cuts it
find
up
one
raw.
near you. They've got a ton
Makes
of
his
different
tartare.
locations.
Tartare.
Black Rock, they've got great deals for lunch. They've got new giveaways coming out soon, so stay tuned with Woodward Sports for that. It's Black Rock Bar and Grill. You don't have to worry about your steak being cooked incorrectly because you do it yourself.
Cook it yourself.
It's
goddamn
Black
it.
Rock, baby.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Go check it out. They've got an amazing massage chair that'll fit anyone's budget. You can get the Pharaoh Q edition, which is the Rolls Royce, all the way down to any average massage chair. Like I said, they can fit anybody's budget. You can scan the QR code to see their inventory. The largest massage chair showroom in Michigan. It's the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Last segment of the show here, boys.
Yeah,
Hey.
lots of people in the chat getting involved in this last topic. I love this comment by Shua. Where the hell did it go? This situation is completely flip-flop. We used to be happy if we won 5 games.
Yes.
Now we're pissed if
That's
we
what
lose
happens.
5
Yes.
games.
That's
Yes.
what happens.
Yes, this is how other franchises live.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what people like me have been trying to say for 2 decades.
That's what
Yes.
success breeds.
And like
Quit
Spinny
comparing
said,
the Lions to the Lions.
and like Spinny said, I would much rather be on this side of history.
1,000%.
But at the same time, if they don't get it done, then that's just as bad as them losing.
But
for
that's
all
why I
them
call everybody New Money Lions fans, because that's what New Money does. Oh, it's my first time here.
It does.
I need it all. I
It
need
does.
it all. If I
No,
don't
you're
have it
right.
all, it's like, no,
You're
stack your paper, like, it'll be fine. And people in the chat saying, well, like you guys, if it doesn't happen with this regime, it'll never happen. That's so not true.
That's what I'm terrified
and
of.
that-
It's not true.
that
This
may
is
not
the
be
best
true.
we've ever had, but that doesn't mean the best we ever will have.
And
either.
that may not be true. You're right. But how do you think Steeler fans feel? All these years of storied success and the history and all that, just for what? For what?
What are you talking about? All of us admitted that a Super Bowl would carry us for the rest
Yeah,
of
they
our lives.
cashed one in.
They did cash one in, but I'm talking about
That's a
like
bad
recent though.
example.
All right,
I'm
all right,
done.
bad example.
49ers, I'll give you.
Okay.
For the younger generation Steeler fans, though, I get what
Yes.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you know what it
Tomlin's
is?
their head coach has one with the team he's currently coaching. So, like,
Do you know what it reminds me of, though? It reminds me of the poor Tiger fans. You hear these stories about all these
Exactly.
great
In
Super Bowl
2005,
teams,
what are we
right?
talking about?
That's, and I feel sorry for younger Tiger fans, but Stick, honestly, yes, I'll call me out. If this is over in 6 years and we don't have a Super Bowl, for the first time in my life, I used to be that guy that would scream at people and go, Golden State Warriors, New Jersey Devils, screw you. For the first time in my life, I might go, oh my gosh.
L.A. Clippers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Chicago
that's,
Cubs.
Right. That's
well, now
perfect.
Cubs got there.
That's
Well, yeah,
that's
they
perfect.
cashed one
That's-
eventually, but that's what I mean.
It's
Like,
it's never Buffalo Sabres going to happen. Like, honestly, that would be my – oh, I don't want to think about it.
The greatest thing in life is hope. And I don't think I'll ever give that up.
Man, I've been living on that shit for ain't nobody trying to hear that hope, man.
I've had so much hope.
55 years.
I've had so
this
much
is the line.
My whole teens and 20s was hope for the Lions.
I told you.
Tack on 25 more years and you're Sean.
I told you. I say this all the
you
time.
know the I've seen it my little
Thanksgiving
time.
Day 1980, the Bears score a touchdown on the last play of the game to tie it. Score a touchdown on the first play of overtime. Return the damn kick. My grandfather and my dad burst into laughter. I'm crying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as a little kid is apt to do. So I know better not to walk up to my dad. My dad will go, "Shut up, you're dumb." So I walk up to my kindly grandpa and I'm like, "Grandpa, why is that funny?" And he takes me up in his lap and he goes, "Don't do this to yourself. They're never going to win. They're never going to win. This is a bad franchise. It's inept ownership. Don't do this to yourself." And so I have been that guy for 45 years now. That I'll show you, Grandpa. And if this era of unprecedented success is gone, I'm afraid I'll turn into that guy. Like, that'll be the final thing, and I'll be that guy.
That's why it scares me.
Thank you.
That's why it
Such a
scares
nice
me,
friend.
is because, like you said, Stick, this is the best we've had, but it might not be the best we ever get, and that is very true. Like, maybe you can find a regime to have more success than this in drafting and developing and putting players out there, which I'm
crazy.
Sure. But this is the best anybody's ever seen. Like, God, my dad's 75 years old. He tells me this is the best the Lions organization has ever been.
Ever.
So if they don't cash it in now, it will end me. It will end me.
The problem is there's other organizations that are operating at their highest level.
You got it.
Like,
You got
it. That's where I just have a rough time.
That's
with
what
it,
the Red Wings are running into right now.
Well,
and I'm
that
sorry,
makes
I've said it for
They do
I've
suck.
said it for 2 years. Is okay. This is good. You like all these cute players, but guess what? There are multiple teams in the division that are doing it better right now.
Yeah.
They're in the exact same position and they're doing it better, and that's what's frightening.
I mean, listen, how many people played basketball during the Michael Jordan era? Lots. How many got championships? Not many.
Right?
Yeah.
True, but basketball is a non-parity sport. On the surface,
not anymore.
compared to football,
Not
football
anymore.
is probably one of the most parodied sports around.
Well,
So
Adam Silver's NBA is a lot different
Well,
than
true,
David
but-
Stern's
the
NBA.
Houston Rockets were smart. He's gone. Let's go grab 2
Exactly
championships.
right.
They were smart.
But that's what I'm saying. Just because you don't win a championship, sometimes it's just because you grew up in the wrong era. Like look at the guys who had to play
Lamar
against either
Jackson,
Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. Those were the two you had to go through in the AFC.
Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
The NFL is not for long, though.
Era.
So it's made for you to be good for
Yes.
a certain amount of time, and it's made for you to be bad for a majority of the time.
And if you're good for a while, you better cash one in.
Yeah,
I
but
don't even
not
wanna
everybody
think
can,
about
and
it.
not everybody will. But the Lions will.
Yes, they will.
They will.
They will.
Sure, okay. I won't
we're
throw
on
myself
Kumbaya.
off the bridge.
Yeah, we all believe
I'm
they
not
will.
Javert. I'm okay.
Thank you for coming out to Big D Energy today. Let's see. Maz and Anson are up next.
Uh-oh.
That's going to be fun.
They going to bicker at each other for 2 hours.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The odd couple.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we're here at Cherry Creek. We're going to be here until about 4 o'clock today. If you're in the area, stop by. Come say hi. Grab a dog. We'll lie and say we're playing, and we'll get you a free hot dog.
Yeah, why
Free hot
not?
dogs
And some
here.
chips.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, KG. Great to be back,
Oh,
buddy.
I'm happy
Good
to be
to have you
back,
back,
man.
brother.
Can't wait.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. We will see you tomorrow. D-Mac and Neil will be back to regale you about their awesome round of golf.
Sean's going to where? Spain?
Greece.
Milan?
Going to Greece. So
You
I'll
know
see you
they
guys in
don't
about 10
light
days.
Saganaki on fire in Greece.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Somebody told me that.
I had to tell them they were
Don't
doing
nobody
it
wanna
wrong.
smell that.
Yep.
I was like, you're doing it wrong. That's not how it is. Stupid Greeks people.
See you boys in 10 days.
Go to Leo's Coney. They light it on fire.
Go to Leo.